welcome to high school football on AT&T Broadband. Tonight, we're in Antioch, California for a battle between two schools from the same town, the Deer Valley Wolverines and the Antioch Panthers. Dan Wall and Steve Sanchez with you as always. And Steve, tonight, this is a game you can just throw everything out the window, the records, numbers, statistics. It's going to all happen out here on the field in front of us.
Well, you're absolutely right, Dan. When you have a game like this, they got the old cliches. Just like you said, you nailed a couple on the head, but it's absolutely right, Dan. Whoever makes the fewest mistakes here tonight is probably going to walk away with a victory.
Well, let's give you a little bit of background on both of these teams. The Deer Valley Wolverines are 2-2 on the season. They beat Freedom in a great game last week out in Brentwood, 33-27 in overtime, Steve. And they're starting to get their act together behind quarterback Michael Drummond.
Well, Michael, he stepped up a little bit. He had a lot of competition from Adam Birdsell and Dylan Rath during the workouts, and it was really close. And Mike Paul didn't know which way to go, but Michael Drummond's really stepped up and has done a very good job. And that was 4 overtimes they went to, Dan, with Freedom.
It was in overtime, though, that they actually won the game.
But you're absolutely right. He's done a good job, and he's earned the right to lead this team tonight.
And they also seem to have found a running game behind the former Ignacio Valley runner, Stephon Hicks.
And, you know, he was at Antioch for a while this year, Dan, before he went on over to Deer Valley. He didn't meet the criteria for Antioch High, and he walked off, and Deer Valley grabbed him with open arms, and he had his breakout game last week with 150 yards rushing.
Well, of course, they lost a lot of players at Deer Valley last year, including Chris Hurd, who's at Washington State now, redshirting, and I'm sure he'll be the quarterback of the future there. Deer Valley coached by Mike Paul, the former Antioch High School coach. And now we're going to set the tone a little bit for Antioch, Steve, and they're coached by Ferris Anthony, of course, and his brother Al Anthony on that coaching staff with a bunch of guys that we know. Antioch, though, 1-2-1 on the year. We saw them earlier against Monte Vista, a tie, and they just seem to be shooting themselves in the foot and not being able to come up with the results that I know that Coach Anthony desires. Well,
Dan, they're the real sense of the word when you talk about Jekyll and Hyde so far this year. They've kind of been a hot and cold team, and it's as Joey Pate goes, the Antioch Panther goes. When Joey Pate puts a good game together and throws some touchdown passes and keeps his interceptions down a little bit, they really respond well. They put a good game up. When he struggles and throws interceptions, well, the results are nil. So you look for Joey Pate to lead him tonight, and if he has a good game, Antioch's got a good chance.
You can see out on there's Coach Ferris Anthony of the Antioch Panthers. You can see the captains are out there with referee Dave Kataya for Antioch, Mark Smith. And we're going to send it down to Dave Kataya right now.
Call it now. His head. It is a tail. All right, you've won the toss. You defer to the second half. Antioch has won. Defer to the second half. You guys want the ball, I would assume, right? And what goal do you want to defend? Scoreboard. Scoreboard, put your over there. Deer Valley will receive to start the game. Okay, let's go.
Once again, the team defers, Steve. I don't know what it is about deferring to the second half. We've seen a lot of it. But Frank Rowe, Anthony Trucks, Mark Smith, and John Sino, the captains for Antioch tonight. Joey Magana, number 25, Gabe Ugardi, number 11, John Halsey, and number 30, James Francis, the captains for the Deer Valley Wolverines. So, Steve, we should have a good one here tonight. We're going to send it down real quick to Joey Acuna with the pregame thought. Go, Joey.
Thanks, Dan. I got a chance to talk to both coaches before the game, and I asked them what are the keys to winning tonight. Starting for the Wolverines, Coach Paul says defense is the key. They got to get to Joey Pate. Now, for the Panthers, Coach Anthony is saying quarterback number 12, Joey Pate, has to have a big game. This is for bragging rights. Back upstairs to you, Dan and Steve.
Thanks, Joey. Joey, of course, will be joining us on games on this side of the hill, and we'll have this game, of course, Steve, is for the Mayor's Cup. And the mayor will present the winner of this game. And after the first, in the first couple of possessions, we'll give you a little bit of history about this game. This is the 5th game between the varsities at Antioch and Deer Valley. Antioch leads the series 3-1.
Yeah, and Donald Freitas is the mayor now of Antioch. I went to school with Don. I know you know Don. So he'll be here to give out the Mayor's Cup. We're on our way, Dan. Take it away.
Here's the kick from Pate, and it's Marcus Roberts for Deer Valley. We're underway, and there's a whistle and a penalty, and I believe Antioch more than likely would be offsides on this one, Steve.
Right, we're ready to go. They throw a big old log jam into it, you know?
It is offsides or illegal procedure on Antioch. So real quickly while they're resetting up, the 2 years the games have been played here in 97 and 99, they were absolute blowouts. Antioch 55-7 4 years ago, Deer Valley 35-0 with Hurd at quarterback 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Over at Deer Valley, it's been a different story. The games have been down to the last minute. And Antioch has won both of those games in somewhat controversial fashion. 3 years ago, last year, they won with an interception at the buzzer, but 1-point victories for Antioch over there. So what will it be this year? Another blowout here or a close game?
I think it's going to be a close game, Dan, and I think both these teams match up well. They got good coaching staffs. I'll let you take this, Dan.
Pate from the 35, and this time the ball comes down to Magana at the 15. Here's Magana up the middle. He's got a hole, and he's brought down by number 30 for Antioch, Deontay Weisinger, and that's where Deer Valley will take over at the 33-yard line. Let's take a look at the offense for Deer Valley. Michael Drummond, the junior quarterback, with Stephon Hicks and James Francis in the backfield. Francis wearing jersey number 30 tonight. Joey Magana, whose father is a coach for the Wolverines, and Carlos Coker with Grant Garrison, the receivers. Adam Belter, Charles Holt, Troy Nunez, Matt Anderson, and Eugene Bradley, a massive tackle for Deer Valley, make up their offensive line. The ball's actually spotted at the 38-yard line. First down, 2 backs in the eye behind Drummond. And there's a procedure penalty, and I think it's on Hicks, who's starting deep in the backfield. It is Hicks in front of Francis.
Offense, penalty 5 yards, down remains 1.
Dave Kataya, our referee tonight, a veteran, with Dale Newhouse, who's a Pac-10 official, as well as Dave Kataya. Mark Ernst and Dan Leary make up the remainder of our officiating crew out here tonight at Eels Field in Antioch. A big crowd on hand tonight, Steve, for this rivalry. This looks like the crowds from the 70s.
It really does, Dan, and this is a big Antioch game, and it's just, I love this game.
First and 15, that's Magana in motion, pitch deep to Hicks. Hicks forced outside, and he's got some good yardage. And then Richie Beltram comes up and makes a good tackle after a gain of 4. Let's take a look at the Antioch defense. Anthony Trucks, the big end, who also plays wide receiver. John Sino going both ways. Jesse Williams and tight end Frank Rowe playing end on the defense. You just saw Beltram, number 33, Mark Redmond, and T. Dixon are the linebackers. Lontavius Johnson, D'Lo Hilton, Maurice Tyner, and Zach Robinson, the defensive backfield for the Antioch Panthers.
And Danny, Richie Beltram's a name you'll be calling a lot of tonight. He's very active at the linebacker spot, and he makes a lot of tackles.
Gain of 4 on the play, second down. Hicks again up the middle. And a host of Panthers there making the tackle, including number 54, Jorge Lopez was in on that play. And Jorge wasn't listed as a starter, so he's getting some time.
And they tried to run around the right side through Troy Nunez and Eugene Bradley on the right-hand side, Dan, and they didn't get much there, so Antioch kind of stuffed them. We got a big third down play coming up, Dan. And here's your replay. They go up the right side, and you got the Antioch student body led by number 54 in there on Antioch's defense.
That's Jorge Lopez. Third and long for Deer Valley on their first drive of the night. We're just underway. No score here on AT&T Broadband's Game of the Week. And either a delay or a procedure penalty will be coming against Deer Valley. They're going to have third and long. Well, we have the opportunity.
Offense, third down.
Dave Kataya with the call. Rocco's Ristorante and Pizzeria, Brendan Theaters, Contra Costa Clean Water Program, Paramount Technology, and Action Video make up just a few of our great friends of football here on AT&T Broadband.
And we have a lot of friends, Dan, on AT&T. What a beautiful night for football, Dan. We've been lucking out, haven't we?
A little chilly tonight, though.
It kind of feels good, though, after all the hot weather we've had at the beginning of October.
If you're not here, you're probably watching Mr. Bonds right now.
And you're
Third and 14 for Deer Valley. And they go to the running game, and that's Francis. Francis has big yardage, but not enough for a first down. Tackled at the 44-yard line. I want to say Trucks was in on that play, and it looked like number 18 got up off the turf, D'Lo Hilton. So Antioch holds on the first series of downs.
And here's our replay right there, Dan. And they run off to the right side again behind Nunez and Bradley, and they pick up about 7. It's not going to be enough. They're going to have to give the ball up to Antioch.
The ball at the 44-yard line. Clark Roop, the punter for Deer Valley. Maurice Tyner and Mark Smith deep for Antioch.
I like that name, Clark Roop.
Oh, and a good spiral from Roop. And Tyner lets it bounce, and it's going to go out of bounds at, I think they're going to spot this at around the 17-yard line. That's where Antioch will take over. Let's take a look at the Antioch offense. Joey Pate, the quarterback. Aaron McGee is the running back in the one-back set for Antioch. They'll also use Richie Beltram in the backfield. Mark Smith, Anthony Trucks, Maurice Tyner, and Frank Rowe, the receiving corps for Antioch. Ryan Norris, Josh DeBenny, John Sino, Lewis Guillory, and Brian Hatch the other big tackle in the game tonight, Steve. You've got Bradley and you've got Hatch, who are both veterans of the lines for their respective teams.
Look for Antioch to go to the air a lot to Trucks and Frank Rodan over the middle. They're going to go to the tight end a lot, I think, tonight. So look for Joey Pate to be airing it out tonight.
Antioch first down. Ball at the 18. And here is Beltram in the game to start. And Beltram gets about 3 over the right side. Let's take a look at the Deer Valley defensive starters. Jermaine DeJose, Wesley Davis, and Blake Mendoza across the line. Gabe Ugardi, John Halsey, Jeremy Baruman, and Guillermo Torres are the linebackers. Willie Thompson, Marcus Roberts, Joe Selesky, and Rodney Alexander, the defensive backfield. And Marcus Roberts, you might know his dad. Bip played for the San Diego Padres. Professional baseball for a number of years and was a very good utility player. Marcus actually plays second base on the baseball team as well, Steve.
And Rodney Alexander was in on that last tackle on Beltram, Dan. Give him credit. Nice tackle.
Gain of 4, 2nd and 6. Here's Beltram once again. Oh, Beltram just goes head on. Trying to get that number for you, Steve. Thank you, number 29.
And here it is, Dan. They just go to the right-hand side, and they come on over, number 29. I wish I could see his name on the roster. I don't see it.
It's not on the roster,
It's
Steve.
not on the roster. Deer Valley did it to us again. They switched numbers on the kid. We'll have to try to find his number out before the game's up.
It was DeMario Bullard listed, but we were told he changed to number 41. So, well, I guess we'll have to wait and see. 3rd and 5, Pate to throw. And he throws in the flat. That's Trucks. Trucks still on his feet. Trucks to almost to midfield. He's past midfield and finally drugged down at the 47-yard line. Number 12 makes the tackle, Rodney Alexander, but that was a great play, and a lot of it was Trucks' doing.
It really was, Dan, and Joey Pate got him the ball, and Trucks on an individual effort. Let's watch the replay right here, Dan. Just a 2 quick-step drop, and right here he hits Trucks in the flat. He makes a nice move here. Number 35 comes up and tries to contain him a little bit, but he breaks out of the grass there, and he breaks a long one right there, and Antioch's on the move.
First down. I'll tell you what, I think this Beltram thing is surprising Deer Valley, and Beltram's still on his feet, knocked out of bounds at the 34-yard line. Another Antioch first down. This is kind of a different look. Beltram has not ran the ball that much for Antioch.
No, he really hasn't, Dan, and they came out with their first series, and they're giving him the ball, and they're moving the chains. Antioch's got something in the works right now.
Beltram did have 9 carries for 41 yards last week, but McGee is the big ball carrier for Antioch, as you could see on the replay there. And it was number 29 once again. If Joey Acuna can hear me, or any of the cameramen near Joey can hear me, number 29 for Deer Valley, we need to find out who that is out there on the field right now.
And Dan, they ran to the right side behind Sino and Hats, and they're doing it again.
And here's Beltram again, but a good tackle by number 29.
And he's going to be on every play now that we don't have his number on the roster.
Well,
we'll find out who he is.
I'm telling you that it was DeMario Bullard, but we were told, because you went down and asked him,
he changed to 41.
That number, he changed to 41, so I don't know. 29 is a guy down there for Deer Valley. He's doing a heck of a job.
And before, I remember I used to watch him before I was in the booth. There's always a mystery man, Dan.
Well, he's the mystery man
tonight. He's the mystery man tonight. So far, we'll find out who he is.
Question mark and the Mysterians in the house tonight here at Antioch. 7:40 to go first quarter. Oh, nice misdirection handoff to number 42, Zach Robinson in the game. And Robinson gets a couple. It's going to be 3rd and long here. This is an interesting situation. Antioch's kind of setting this up as you want a name? You want me to tell you who that is? Ian Tolanata.
Tolanata on the tackle.
When Steve points to the number, that means I have no clue what that
I am
says.
not going to mispronounce somebody's name because I will get in trouble.
Antioch has went run, pass, run. Let's see what they do here, Steve.
Well, it's about 3rd and about 7 right here, Dan. Look for Pate to roll out maybe and try to find Rowe or maybe Trucks on the slant. So let's see what he does here.
Here's Pate to pass on 3rd down. Throws an inside pass to Trucks. Trucks is still on his feet in a first down, but there's a penalty flag, and I think they're going to call holding on Antioch, and they are. And that came real quick from Dave Kataya. Let's see if we can pick it up on the replay, Steve.
Boy, he really threw that flag quick for a quick step drop right there.
We're going to take a look at it after the call from Dave Kataya. Dave Kataya, of course, a longtime local official in all 3 sports.
Offense. Takedown. Holding. Offense. Penalty 10 yards. Spot of the foul. Repeat 3rd down.
There's a good shot of Pate.
Okay,
let's watch here. Just a 2 quick step. Well, he's more about a 5-step drop and got Trucks on a turn in. Close to being. They threw that flag pretty good.
You know what? I see exactly where it happened, Steve.
Ugardi on the
looked
tackle.
Like someone, he fell and he just fell on top of him. So anyway, 3rd and 20, or 3rd in the McDonald's out by the old Kmart, Steve. And Pate over the middle of Tyner, and it's broken up nicely by number 2, Marcus Roberts. So Antioch now will be forced to kick here on their first possession, and so far, Steve, we've had this a lot this year.
Yeah.
First drives going all the way back to the Los Lomas College Park game. It was 0-0 for most of the first quarter. Last week it was kind of tight, and then things kind of loosen up in the second half.
Well, Antioch kind of shot himself in the foot on that penalty right there. That was a big penalty on them, Dan. They were moving, and they were had stuff in the works, and they were going to move that completion to trucks. They were going to move the chains again, and they got to give it up and give Deer Valley another chance. Let's see if Drummond don't put the ball in the air a little bit more.
Joey Loma's the punter for Antioch. Roberts and Magana. Oh, and they fake it. Oh, and Tyner's got big yardage. Tyner is going to get a first down for Antioch. What a play. That psyched everyone out, including our cameraman.
Including me, because I didn't know who had the ball. I was looking on the right-hand side. Real good call, real good misdirection on a punt. And what a way to start things rolling the dice, Ferris Anthony to begin the game with. Illegal man down.
Oh, no, it's on Deer Valley.
On Deer Valley.
How can Deer Valley have an illegal man downfield?
That's what he said. We went to the top of his head.
That's a good, here
Let's
it is.
watch it right here. Let's see if anybody in the stick can pick it up. It's, Dan, it's kind of like the old Fumble-Rooski.
But it wasn't on the ground.
It wasn't on the ground. They handed it to him, and right there, he's got things in the works, and he's moving the ball. Maurice Tyner, nice run.
23-yard gain for Tyner. The tackle was made by number 58, Jeremy Berumen. Antioch in business now. The ball at the 20-yard line.
Real big play to begin the game with, Dan.
Here's Beltram again. And Beltram's getting 4 or 5 every carry. Tackle that time from John Halsey. But that was a great call. You know what, Steve, though? That's something you don't see a lot from Antioch. Antioch is kind of a conservative team.
That's probably why it works. They're probably looking at the films, and Coach Paul is very familiar with Coach Ferris Anthony, and probably told him during special teams, don't worry about Antioch faking. They always punt and bit him in the foot. They rolled the dice on one, and it paid off for Antioch.
2nd and 5. Pate, fade pattern into the end zone, and it's, oh, what a catch! What a catch by D'Lo Hilton. That was unbelievable. One-handed in the end zone, touchdown Panthers.
Kind of looked like Chris Carter of the Minnesota Vikings out there.
And he only catches touchdown.
He only catches touchdown. Very good, Dan.
That was gorgeous. I'd love to see this one again.
Boy, I tell you, Pate, from up here at this vantage point, it looked like he put a little too much on it, and he was going to overthrow him. Let's watch this. Right here, it looks like he's overthrown him, but watch him put his hand out right here. One hand grab, didn't even use the other hand. Beautiful.
Unbelievable. That was absolutely gorgeous. D'Lo Hilton, a 15-yard pass from Pate, gets Antioch on the board after that fake punt. It's 6-0 Antioch, and the scoreboard doesn't work here, Steve, so we're going to have to keep it manually in our head as Pate puts the extra point right through the uprights, and it's 7-0 Antioch with 5:08 to go here in the first quarter. Steve, while we have an opportunity, let's talk a little bit about the Antioch Panthers, give you a little overview of their season so far as you take a look at the sideline. There's Coach Ferris Anthony, and thanks again, Coach, for all your help in getting ready for this game tonight. Antioch is 1-2-1 on the season, Steve. They tied Monte Vista, game we saw here, beat California, lost to Granada, and lost last week to Liberty. The thing that's really killed Antioch this year is that Pate has thrown a number of interceptions that have been ran back for touchdowns. There's a legitimate claim that Antioch could be 3-1 without those interceptions.
And they really are, Dan. Well, let's look at this replay one more time. This was such a beautiful throw and catch, Dan. And right here, it's up in the air, and it looks like it's overthrown. And watch this one-hand grab, though. Just beautiful. Puts his hand out there, stretches as far as he can, and 7 points, Antioch Panthers. No, Dan, you're absolutely right. Getting back to alluding to what Pate said, it was funny, right before the Liberty game, they were talking in the paper how look at this, Dan.
Little pooch kick. This is going to be trouble. Antioch is just, and it's going to be whoever got the ball. But what kind of play was that?
I don't know, but they're rolling the dice right now, Antioch is.
Deer Valley got it, but I've always wondered why other teams don't do that. Maybe Pate's adept at kicking the ball like that, but it always just amazes me. Like, you see the onside kick in the Niner Jet game?
Right.
One bounce right in the guy's chest, It's over. That thing right there, look at the mess that created.
That created a heck of a mess, and you ended up not being successful on it, but they only got the ball on the 38-yard line. You're still on your side of the field, and it's not a bad gamble, Dan.
Not at all. First down, Deer Valley. The handoff inside. I think that's Francis, and Francis only gets a yard, Steve. So Deer Valley really has not even shown pass so far in this game. They're running the ball, they're giving it to Francis, and they're giving it to Hicks. and they haven't really gained much yardage, maybe only about 10 yards.
No, Antioch right now up front is controlling the line of scrimmage. Richie Beltram on that tackle again right there, Dan, and like we talked before, he's real active, and he's going to be active tonight, but so far they're not moving Antioch a whole lot off the line.
Split backs on second down. And they fake a handoff and give it to Hicks. Hicks has a first down. Hicks is still on his feet, and Hicks is inside Antioch territory to the 40-yard line. Tackle on that play from number 21, Lontavius Johnson. That time they ran a fake, Steve, misdirection back to the right side, and look at the hole here.
Let's watch it here, Dan. A little misdirection on the right-hand side. Number 66 does a good kick-out block and gets him on the run. And right here, he's off to the races. Hicks does a little spin move right there and picks up about 22 yards. That was Charles Holt on the kick-out block that sprung him loose.
There was a great block on the inside by the fullback as well. Beltram and Redmond also in on the tackle for Antioch, and right back to the well off the right side, and a gain of a couple for Deer Valley.
Mark Redmond in on that tackle, Dan, number 40 on the defensive wise. They're going on. They like that right side with Troy Nunez and Eugene Bradley. And that last time they pulled Charlie Hort from the left side, and he had a nice crackback on the linebacker that opened it up, and they got it going.
2nd and 8. I don't know if Deer Valley's thrown the ball. Has Deer Valley thrown? No, they haven't. Deer Valley's ran 6 plays, Steve, and they've all been on the ground. Antioch leads 7-0 with 3:35 to go first quarter. Dan and Steve from Antioch tonight, and should be a good game, Steve. And that ball, that time Drummond was under a bit of pressure from Anthony Trucks, and he throws the ball incomplete. Garrison was out there, and also number 25, Gabe Ugardi. It'll be 3rd and 8.
Big third down play for Deer Valley coming up. Michael had a big drop right there, and he felt the pressure from Antioch, and he was lucky to get rid of that ball, Dan.
Last week, Drummond had a pretty good game for Deer Valley, Steve, in that overtime victory. Threw for 209 yards. 200 yards, right on the button. But he's yet to complete a pass tonight. 3rd down. Here's Drummond to throw. And he has a receiver over the middle. He's going to be short of a first down, though, Steve. That's kind of a curious call. It looks like Magana, and the catch is made and spotted at the 33. But if I'm Deer Valley, I got to go for it here, down 7-0.
Oh, I would think so. On this side of the field, if you don't make it, Antioch has the ball on the 32-yard line. So why not go right now?
Gain of about 4. It leaves it 4th and 4 for Deer Valley. The ball at the 33-yard line.
Watch out for Hicks on this one, Dan. That misdirection play may be coming back right there. That was a big gainer last time. Look out for the right-hand side on a misdirection. Sometimes you got to...
I'm sorry, Steve, it almost looked like Drummond was audibleizing there on that call. And here's Hicks, and Hicks kind of slips his way through, and Hicks has a first down. If they mark it where he... Oh, Steve, this is an interesting call. It looked like the ref had the mark at the first down. Hicks bounced back, and I think they might spot this a little short of the first down.
Well, Dan, from this vantage point, let's watch this play, what you're talking about, Dan. They go on the right-hand side with Hicks right here, and it looks like he's got a lot in the making right here, and he gets spun around, and he kind of loses yardage right here and stays on his feet, but I think the last lunge right there may give it to him.
I think they're just going to be either just get it or just a touch short, Steve. This is going to be a big measurement.
This is McGuire. This is your McGuire call. What do you say? It's short, Dan, by inches?
No, he got it.
Okay.
He got it by inches. First down, Deer Valley at the 30-yard line. 7-0 Antioch, 2:40 to go first quarter.
You know, Dan, this is the 4th year they've played, and well, I tell you what, you talk to the kids. This is
year.
This is the 5th year they played. I'm sorry, but this is the 5th year they played. They talk to the kids, and this is the game they circle on their calendar. You can have the Antioch pit tradition of all you want, but this is the ones that the kids want right here. This is bragging rights in the whole town.
What happens when they open that new high school in Antioch?
I don't know. Then all bets are off.
They do the misdirection back, this time to the left side, and Hicks is stopped for what might be a loss. John Sino is in on the tackle for Antioch, and also our buddy who wasn't going to play, Jorge Lopez, who has been playing and doing a good job at linebacker for Antioch.
Mark Redmond also helped out on that, Dan. There's about 3 or 4 have been on that tackle.
2nd and 10. Clock running with 1:58 to go here in the first quarter. Great crowd tonight here at Antioch High School. And there's Drummond. He throws into the flat to number 84, Ken Terrell. And Terrell close to a first down. It's going to be 3rd and 3, Steve. And Deer Valley moving the ball. You know, here's a replay.
Right here,
Another
a
drum and
good
pass.
force, yeah, and a real good job by Michael because he got some pressure up the middle, and he completed that pass. And number 54 for Antioch, George Lopez came on up, and
Jorge
Lopez.
Here's the third down pitch. This is Hicks, and Hicks cuts back. Oh, and he gets hammered. And I think that was Mr. Lopez. It was Mr. Lopez again. And like last week, with the Felso kid from Campolindo coming out of nowhere and making a lot of plays. And 2 weeks ago at Alhambra, remember the kid started late and made all the big plays, and now tonight we got a guy who wasn't listed as a starter. He's making all the big plays.
Who was the kid for Alhambra?
I think it was Aldridge.
Here's a replay, Dan, right here to the left. And right here, he's got something in the makings. And let's watch the hit from the backside right here. Comes up. Right here, boom.
Oh.
And just nice takedown. And real good job by Lopez. Here we go, Dan. It's yours.
4th and 1. Under a minute to play first quarter. Drummond, quick handoff.
I don't know, Dan.
And a hitter to Francis, and it's going to depend on the spot, Steve. We're going to have another measurement, I think, as the clock stops. And while we're waiting for the chains to come out, Steve, I'd like to talk a little bit about Deer Valley's season. Deer Valley 2-2, lost to Montgomery of Santa Rosa, and they also lost to West Tracy. Both of those games are at home. They beat Venetia and they beat Freedom, so they're 2-2, but they're still trying to find themselves.
Yeah, they really are, Dan. And as Michael Drummond grows as a quarterback, the team will grow. And he's doing a good job. So with maturity comes wins.
Yeah, they had a big battle between Birdsell and Rath.
I say it's short, Dan.
It looks like it's short, and it is. Antioch holds on 4th down and short. Francis not able to get the yard. So Antioch will take over at their own 20-yard line with 42 seconds to go in the first quarter and a 7-0 lead. And that line is playing really well, Steve, other than a couple of plays. They've stopped the running game at Deer Valley.
Let's watch this stuff right up here in the middle. They go with a quick counter right there. And I'd sure like to get that number on the ground right there. Who stuffed it?
That's
our man Beltram.
That's Richie Beltram.
Richie Beltram came in and stuffed it and stopped him short. Antioch has got the opportunity right now to drive the length of the field and really put some pressure on Deer Valley.
Antioch showing a different look here with T. Dixon and Mark Redmond in the game in the backfield, replacing Tyner and McGee. Here's the handoff to Dixon, the second back, and Dixon gets a couple, and then he's gang tackled by Halsey and also number 53, Wesley Davis. So that could be the last play of the first quarter, Steve. Under 30 seconds to play. We're going to have to wait and see if they get out here. But so far, a pretty good battle. Antioch with that fake punt, really, that was the play that turned the game around, got them their first score.
It really was, Dan. They gambled on their first drive, and it paid off. So Antioch has a little bit of momentum going right here.
That will be the last play of the first quarter. The score after one period of play at Antioch 7, Deer Valley nothing. We'll be back in 1 minute on it. We'll be back. Oh, excuse me. We need 1 second to get ready for our break. So, Steve, a quick thought on the first period?
Well, I think that it's an evenly matched game so far, Dan. I think that Joey Pate has got a little confidence underneath his feet right now. He threw a couple nice passes, and look for Antioch to have some good things in the secondary if he continues to get his confidence.
We'll be back in 1 minute on AT&T Broadband.
Tonight's AT&T Broadband Game of the Week is made possible in part by a generous donation from Rocco's Ristorante Pizzeria in Walnut Creek. Located in the Encina Grande Shopping Center, Rocco's Ristorante Pizzeria has classic Italian pastas and gourmet pizzas in a family atmosphere. And Brendan Theaters Concord, featuring 14 screens of movie magic. All theaters have Lucasfilm THX digital sound systems, stadium-style seating with high-back, comfortable love seat chairs.
What you doing, Dad?
I'm just getting rid of my old used motor oil.
Dad? Dad? Dad?
What? Whoa!
It's Mr. Funnelhead, the captain of clean water.
What are you doing? Use your brain, not the storm drain. Recycle your used motor oil for a cleaner future. Call 1-800-NO-DUMPING or check out our website at www.funnelhead.com.
Back at Antioch High School, we apologize. We missed the first play of the second quarter. It was a nice 25-yard pass to Frank Rowe, the tight end for Antioch, that sets up Antioch at the 46-yard line. First down in Deer Valley territory, leading 7-0 here on the AT&T Broadband Game of the Week. And here's T. Dixon with a pitch, and Dixon has good yardage. You know, this kid's just a sophomore, Steve, and he's still on his feet, and he's inside the 30-yard line, down near the 22-yard line. Number 21 for Deer Valley, Carlos Coker, and a host of other Wolverines over there. But Antioch moving the ball real nice here on their second drive.
Well, Dan, we missed a play to row over the middle that gained about 25 yards. He was wide open, and we seen the speed of T. Dixon. And he went to the outside, and he had a full head of steam, and that shows you the potency of Antioch's offense. 2 plays, he just picked up 63 yards. Here's the replay, Dan. Watch the full head of steam he has right here. Right here, he runs to the line with no fear. Right there, he's just busting through. Real nice run, breaks away, almost hits pay dirt. Real nice, tackled by, you said, a host of Wolverines?
And Carlos Coker. Well, they all fell on him at the end.
Okay.
Redmond up the middle on first down.
Would it be a pack of Wolverines, Dan?
It's a pack or a host. Or
and what would Panthers be?
Probably a pack, too.
2 packs?
Because Wolverines and Panthers are like animals, so there'd probably be packs.
Okay.
You know, or just a whole bunch.
More than one.
I think what happens a lot of times, you're trying to watch the run, and then 8 guys fall on the guy, so you think they were all involved in the tackle. It's hard sometimes picking out the initial tackler, because then there's a whole bunch of guys. So we try as hard as we can.
And you know, the Wolverines changed their jerseys for us.
Yeah, well, they changed the other ones. These are still the same, I think.
They're still lousy.
2nd and 6. That's Beltram. And Beltram, I see a flag. I thought I saw a ball, but I don't think it was a ball. It turned out to be. He gets inside the 15, but there's a flag, and this one's probably going to be something against Antioch.
It's going to be a hold.
Yeah. So Antioch, aside from a couple of mistakes with the holding penalties, has been able to move the ball pretty effectively here tonight in the first half, Steve.
They really have, Dan. And they've been running on that right side with number 58, John Cino.
Holding.
And Brian.
Offense. Penalties 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Repeat second down.
And Brian Hatz, number 75, and Ryan Norris, number 51. The center has been doing a good job up front so far.
So it's 2nd and 15. That hold comes from the spot. It does not come from the line of scrimmage like it does in the NFL. 2nd and 15, ball at the 27. Pate to throw. Good pressure. Oh, and he gets sacked immediately by Gabe Ugardi. And that wasn't even much of a challenge, Steve.
No,
he just went down.
It really wasn't. Ugardi shot through there. Let's watch it on the replay right here, Dan. He comes from his right side, and Joey Pate didn't have really much of a chance right there. Real nice play by Gabe Ugardi. Do you know his dad, Rolf?
I actually know, I think it's his aunt, Lydia.
Okay.
Who's married to my good buddy Greg Batrup, who I went to school with. I went to school with Lydia here, too. By the way, for those of you on the other side of the hill who don't know, both Steve and I went to Antioch High School.
There's so many intangibles here with these 2 schools. It's crazy.
And we know a lot of the people on both sidelines tonight. We'll talk a little bit about the coaches when we get a break. 3rd down. Oh, and they do that inside handoff to McGee, and it didn't fool anyone. The coaches knew. The sideline knew. Steve, I think the guy driving the ambulance knew.
He knew.
And so Antioch now forced in a 4th and long. And, Steve, this is a real long as Halsey made a good play there.
Ugardi was in on that, too. He had a little bit of help.
This is like 4th and Humphrey's Restaurant for those of you that know the Antioch geography pretty well. And it's going to force Antioch to kick from the 37-yard line. 9:18 to go in the first half. Antioch leads 7-0 here on AT&T Broadband. Next week we're scheduled to be at De La Salle, Pittsburgh, Steve, but there's a possibility we might change that. We haven't made up our mind yet.
Oh, I see.
So we want to tell everyone out there that there could be a different game. That way, so if you tune in, you're not mad at us. But if you tune in to De La Salle, Pittsburgh, you might see De La Salle, Pittsburgh. How's that?
Yeah. They got a tough one on their hands.
It's like telling someone we might have AC/DC next week, but we might have Aerosmith.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, here we go. Here's some of the great friends of AT&T Broadband High School football, Steve.
And we do have a lot of friends, Dan.
We have a lot of friends.
You need to have friends, Dan, as you go through life. Have you ever noticed that?
We'll tell you that Rocco's Ristorante and Pizzeria, Brendan Theaters, Contra Costa Clean Water Program, Paramount Technology, Action Video are great friends of the AT&T Broadband High School football, alongside the New Mecca Cafe, Concord Beverage, Rock Bottom Records, Antioch Opticians, Pantel's Music Box, S&S Imports, A&B Creative Trophies, Images of 3 Hair Salon, Mercado's Barbershop, and Golf and Games. And Steve, you've been wanting to talk about, is it Joey Loma?
Joey Loma's going to punt, ain't he?
Well, he's the punter.
He's the punter. I've been wanting to say his name because I know how to say Loma.
It's one of the few names you actually know how to pronounce.
Joey Loma.
Here's
Joey
Loma. Here's Loma to kick. And that's Magana who's going to let it bounce, and it bounces into the end zone. So a touchback, and Deer Valley will take over on the 20-yard line. Steve, let's talk a little bit about the Deer Valley coaching staff. Of course, Mike Paul in his 5th year, and the former varsity coach here at Antioch. He's got Dave Fogelstrom calling the plays on the offensive side of the ball. And Scott Zabrani, another former Panther, is the defensive coordinator. Right. Jim Magana, another former Panther, is the coach over there. Ross Harity, who used to coach and teach here. Dan Peters, and of course Tim Ryan, the athletic director. And there's Coach Paul, who was very gracious with his time on Tuesday afternoon. He told me you need to spend at least an hour here because I know you got to go get Sanchez ready for the.
That's right. He knows that. He knows me well enough to know where you really have to prepare me. There's a jump.
Well, they had a kind of a different formation there. They actually had Garrison off the ball in the slot, the tight end, and the wide receiver split out, and Antioch jumped offside.
Defense, penalties 5 yards. Down remains 1.
See, Dave Kataya, he's not only refs in the Pac-10, but he also refs in the Arena Football League.
Is that right?
Yes. He's used to it like being 37-33 at halftime.
Didn't we go to Arena game last year?
Yeah. I go to all of them, but you only went to one. They only let you into one.
Yeah, I remember it.
Here's Hicks. Around the left side, still on his feet. First down, a gain of about 8.
And Dan,
again, Steve.
And Dan, I really like the way Hicks runs. I can see why he was really successful in that wing T offense that Ignacio Valley runs. And he's got a head of steam going with a couple steps, and it looks like he's got some speed. He gets to the outside. You got to wrap him up because it looks like he could be gone.
He played in the wing T at Ignacio Valley last year and transferred to Deer Valley this year. Here's Drummond to throw, and he throws a pass low, but it's caught by Magana for a gain of about 4. And, of course, his father's on the sidelines, and his father was a great receiver here, and he holds a bunch of receiving records at Hayward State.
He really does, and Jimmy was a great player for the then BVAL. And right here, Drummond throws it a little bit low, but Joey goes down and makes a nice catch. And number 20 looks like his dad. Look, deja vu going back.
It is still the BVAL. It used to be the DVAL.
I said DVAL.
Oh, I thought you said BVAL.
No.
Okay.
Diablo Valley Football League.
That's right.
In the early 70s.
And his dad's records will never be broken because
Hayward State no longer exists.
You're very good. That's why you're the color guy. Hicks with the pitch. Hicks outside on his feet, picking his way through. Another first down for Deer Valley. And you know, Steve, one thing I notice when we're doing these games is that there's never a play on the near sideline so we can tell you who made the tackle. They're always on the other side of the field.
It really is.
I saw Sino in there for Antioch.
They ran around that left side, Dan, of Matt Anderson and Charles Holt. They're mixing it up a little bit, and looks like Deer Valley's getting a little comfortable right now up front.
First
with
down,
Hicks running the ball.
First down for the Wolverines, the ball at the 44-yard line. Oh, and that's called hogtied.
That's a hogtie, Dan.
That was trucks. See, when they do it right there, I can see it, and I can make a call for you.
We'll start making those far ones for you.
That was Ugardi hogtied by trucks.
Yeah, this is a hogtie. Good call, Dan. Right here, he just swings him around and ties him up, and he picks up about 2 yards.
That looks like your wife trying to get you to do chores on the weekend. Here's Drummond with the pitch to Hicks off the option, and there is absolutely nowhere for Hicks to go. And Hicks, Steve, does not break a lot of tackles.
No. Beltham, Trucks.
Lopez, Redmond.
Everybody was there.
They're all there. Jesse Williams, number 79, over there on that play. So a loss of 2. It'll be, it's listed as third down. It is third down. After the hog tie and the loss, Steve.
So it's about 3rd and 10. They're back where they began.
Actually, they're spotting it. Now, doesn't that spot and where the third down marker look like about a yard off?
At least.
Okay, so we're going to call it 3rd and 11 conservatively for Deer Valley, the ball at the 43-yard line.
Passing down for Drummond. Let's see what he does.
7-0 Antioch in the second quarter. Drummond to throw. Drummond throws a little flag pattern to Magana, and Magana has it, and Magana is out of bounds at the 34-yard line. Coverage came from Lontavius Johnson, and that was a beautiful play, and you can see the junior quarterback starting to get a little bit more comfortable, Steve. Look at this.
Let's watch him on the replay right here, Dan. Just a 3-step drop, and Michael Drummond just puts it. Watch his pass. Beautiful pass, and Joey McGann has got him beat by 3 yards, and he puts it right in the breadbasket, and he's going to move the chains. Deer Valley's got something going on, Dan.
Safety help was late that time from Robinson, and so Magana with a nice catch that time. I'm trying to get the yardage there. 38 yards on that gain, Steve.
Big play.
First down, the ball at the 30-yard line. Actually, I think that was 28. Because the ball was at the 43, it went to the 30. A 28-yard gain on that last play. Excuse me, not 38. Our crack statistic crew.
And Dan,
of Robert Rice and Rage Against the Machine here in the booth tonight, Steve.
Jesse Williams right there rushed Michael Drummond to throw that ball a little bit earlier. Earlier than he wanted to. He had somebody in the flat, but he just had to get rid of the ball a little bit quicker than he wanted to, LC, to avoid the sack. Good play by Williams.
2nd and 10, 6:09 to go in the half. Here's a handoff to Hicks, and Hicks has room. Hicks near a first down, and a host of Panthers, Steve. It's actually a pack of Panthers.
Pack of Panthers, there we
go.
go.
Panthers. But I'll tell you what, anywhere there's a pack of Panthers, there's probably Richie Beltram.
And right here he is running off the left side. Real nice block by number 6 on the outside. That sprung him loose.
D'Lo Hilton was also in on that
He
play,
was in
Steve.
on the, yep.
You know, anywhere there's a pack of Panthers, there's Beltram. Of course, anywhere there's a 6-pack, there's
me on the corner.
I just wanted to make sure we were on the same page.
That was Grant Garrison, number 9 on the tight end, who opened up that
Oh, here
hole.
comes the blitz. Oh, Mark Smith! Oh, my goodness. He nearly knocked Drummond over to the fairgrounds on that one, Steve.
Yeah, he really did. He came from his right side, Michael's blind side, and I think by the time Michael seen him, it was too late. That's really going to put him in a hole.
Mark Smith and Anthony Trucks are like the Twin Towers, Steve.
They really are.
They are seniors, and both of them are being looked at by major colleges, and they've really come into their own. They haven't really thrown a lot to him, though, on offense tonight.
No, they really haven't.
It looks like Deer Valley is going to go for it at the 32-yard line, 4th and 11. This is a big play for Deer Valley, Steve. They need to pull a rabbit out of their hat. They have 3 wide receivers near side, and now they have to call timeout because Francis wasn't in the game, and I doubt if Mike Paul's very thrilled about that situation right now.
No, he's not, but Drummond did the right thing.
We're going to take a 1-minute break and be back with you here in the second quarter. Antioch leads 7-0 on AT&T Broadband.
Tonight's AT&T Broadband Game of the Week is made possible in part by a generous donation from Rocco's Ristorante Pizzeria in Walnut Creek. Located in the Encina Grande Shopping Center, Rocco's Ristorante Pizzeria has classic Italian pastas and gourmet pizzas in a family atmosphere. Locally owned and operated by Rocco Bialy and family, Rocco's was voted the best pizza by readers of the Contra Costa Times. A great place to go to watch the AT&T Broadband Game of the Week. And Brendan Theaters Concord, featuring 14 screens of movie magic. All theaters have Lucasfilm THX digital sound systems, stadium-style seating with high-back, comfortable love-seat chairs, and an unobstructed view. Reserve your tickets over the phone, and remember, movies always make a great gift. You can even find your favorite movie soundtrack in the lobby of the theater. And Paramount Technology of Concord, located behind Tower.
Back at Eels Field in Antioch, big play for Deer Valley on 4th down. They trail 7-0 on the AT&T Broadband Game of the Week, and Drummond fumbles a snap, and he's corralled by Trucks and Smith. And I think they're going to blow this one dead, Steve. And Deer Valley had an opportunity, and then they just totally blew the whole thing from the get-go when they decided to go for it on 4th down.
Well, yeah, they really did, Dan. They kind of shot themselves in the foot on that drive right there. They had negative yardage, and Antioch takes over and look for Joey Pate to air it out a little bit. I'm surprised McGee hasn't ran the ball a little bit more. He's a real good running back, and when he's gone with Beltram, maybe he's hurt or something down we don't know about, but he's in now.
He's out there. Well, no, they said they were going to run the 2-back a little bit tonight. Now they're back in the spread offense with three wide receivers, and McGee runs the ball. Oh, and then he gets hammered by number 33, Daniel Pack. Actually, excuse me, that was 32. Check that, Jermaine DeJose.
And right here, here's a replay, Dan. Just a really quick counter to McGee right there, and DeJose does a real good job of closing the gap right there and held him to a minimal yard gainage. Picked up about 4, Dan.
Gain of 4, 2nd and 6, 4:13 to go here. As you see the band's getting ready to get out there into formation, they will probably have a joint halftime band performance tonight. And the handoff to McGee, and McGee gets a couple. Looks like number 56 for Deer Valley, Ian Tolenata. Well, there's a name for you, Steve.
That's why I leave that one for you.
Thank you. 3rd and 4. Bob Fisher, the offensive coordinator of the Panthers and also the athletic director, and we'll try to talk a little bit about the Antioch coaching staff later in this game, Steve, as he sends Anthony Trucks out with the play. But Antioch's going to have to hurry, or they're going to be late to the line of scrimmage here, and they could be in a delay situation.
Watch for the tight end Rowe on this play again, Dan. He was wide open on that play again. They haven't gone back to it yet, and you're absolutely right, Dan. They're going to get called for delay.
You know, it's just amazing sometimes the things that happen. I can understand the holdings and stuff like that, but, you know, you almost have to be it's almost impossible to do the send the guy in with the play anymore. You ever noticed that? You pretty much better have it called and ready to go. If you even delay 1 second, it seems like they get
called
off
every time.
Yeah. So that pushes it back 5. It's 3rd and 9 with 3:22 to go here in the first half. Antioch ahead 7-0 in the Mayor's Cup game in Antioch here tonight. And Joey Pate with 3 wide receivers and McGee behind him. This is Pate. Short drop. Over
tight
the middle.
end.
Yep. That was intended for Rowe. And the coverage came from number 56 again. That was Tolanata. And it'll be 4th down.
Here's the replay right here, Dan. And Pate just takes a quick 4-step drop, and he feels the pressure right here. Rowe releases late, but he didn't release in time to make that play right there. And it was almost a good thing he didn't, because he was in good coverage right there. There was a defender, I didn't get the number right next to him, who read it pretty well. It was a quick first half, Dan. Only 3:04 to go.
You better knock on the wood over there for saying that. That means the second half will go 3 hours. Oh, they just barely got that kick off. That's Loma punting, but it gets an Antioch bounce inside the 30, and it's touched right at the 30-yard line. That's where Deer Valley will take over, Steve, with 2:56 to go. Trailing 7-0. We were talking about the Antioch coaching staff. Let's finish that out, Steve, as we try to get all of the names and numbers and dates and places in tonight. Ferris Anthony in his 6th year. Of course, Ferris, a professional wrestler before he was a high school coach, and we know that because we do professional wrestling gigs over here.
That's right. And you know, Dan, one thing about the people on that side of the hill who don't know about Ferris, the kids love playing for this guy.
Mm-hmm. Ferris is a great guy. I went to school with him. I've known him for about 25 years. Bob Fisher, the athletic director and offensive coordinator, and former Panther Jim Baccio, the defensive coordinator. We'll fire off a few more names after this play. First down, Deer Valley. The handoff is to Hicks, and Hicks right into the middle of the line. And we're going to give credit to the entire Antioch team for making that tackle.
Well, Truck, Cito, Williams, and Rowe right there stuffed the whole front of it. And right here it is, Dan. They try to go on the right-hand side right here, and it's just there's a log jam right there. There's nobody going nowhere. There's a traffic backed up. That looks like Highway 4, like in the morning.
Like trying to get here.
Yeah.
I had to go down 4 different roads just to get to this game tonight. 2nd down. Drummond to throw. Oh, and they do the little up and out. He's looking for Magana. He underthrows this. This could be a pick. Good defensive play that time from number 21 of Antioch, Lontavius Johnson. That throw, though, Steve, was kind of wobbly, and Zach Robinson almost came over from his safety position and could have intercepted that.
He did. And Joey Magana, you watch Joey, he does a real good job here, Dan. He almost makes a great athletic play. It's like a little fake give and go right here, and he goes on top, and Michael doesn't put that great of a throw on it. But let's watch Joey go right here. He really responds well and almost makes the catch. Good job.
You know, on that play, Steve, that was a perfect example of throwing the ball into the wrong pattern.
Right.
He was off on about a 10-step drop off the. If he had thrown that first initial pass, Magana could have ran for 15 yards.
Yeah.
But when they tried to do that little down sideline and up,
a little hitch and go,
it just didn't work. So 2 minutes to go here, and it looks like a time. Now wait a minute. What is Mark Redmond? I don't know. I can't imagine that Redmond has been ejected from the game because there would have been a penalty. But Redmond was told to come over. Maybe he was injured, and I don't know. Dave Kataya is over here on the near sideline, Steve. This is kind of an interesting situation right now.
He just gave Bob Fisher some news.
So Redmond was brought off the field. I don't know if he was hurt or something, but if there would have been an ejection, he probably would have had. And there's Hicks, and Hicks has a first down on 3rd down, but there's a penalty flag on the play, Steve. And I think there's a couple of New York firefighters here tonight.
Well, if that's true, what an honor to have them here.
Or they're honoring the firefighters, because we're honoring all the firefighters after what went on 3 weeks ago.
And which we should.
Let's see what the call is here on 3rd down, and it's a hold on Deer Valley.
Offense. Penalties 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Repeat 3rd down.
So Deer Valley shooting themselves in the foot again, Steve. They had the opportunity down here on 4th down. They did not get the play off, and then a fumble, and now they get the ball back here after the punt, and now it's 3rd down. And Steve, I'm going to let you take a shot at a location here because it's 3rd, and remember which way we're going.
Let me see. We're heading that south.
Yes.
We'll say 3rd and Mater Day.
Not that either of these teams would really want to play Mater Day, even though De La Salle beat them. I don't know. They probably could compete with Mater Day this year. They weren't that good in that game we did. Here's the 3rd down pass, and it's behind Magana. And they're really picking on number 21, Lontavius Johnson, and he's really not doing that bad of a job.
No, he's really not. He's been a pretty good cover man all year. And here's a replay right here. And Drummond right here kind of sprints out to the right a little bit. Richie Beltram just like almost has a felony on somebody. And right there he just throws it behind Joey Magana. And they're going to have to give the ball up, Dan. And with 2:02 to go, Antioch's going to have a chance.
There was 1:59 to go, so we're going backwards. Ever since you said the first half was going by real quick, it was 1:59 to go. Now there's 2:02 to go. So you tell me. Are we playing soccer or something now? Here's the kick from Roop. It's a good high kick. Maurice
Short,
Tyner looking for it around the. Oh, and it takes an Antioch bounce backwards, out of bounds at the 47-yard line. So Antioch's got 1:55 to go. I would imagine they've probably got a couple of timeouts because I think Deer Valley's burned all their timeouts.
I think they have.
And
you know, Dan, there's a pretty good scene here right now. You look in the end zones of both end zones. You got the Wolverine band and the Antioch band.
You know, maybe eventually before this play gets off, Steve, we can get a shot of both the bands. Let's finish quickly. Mark Butterfield is the quarterback coach at Antioch, and of course he played here and at Stanford, drafted by the Chicago Bears. Anthony Borelli, Greg Davis, Chris Henry, Al Anthony round out the coaching staff. Of course, your friend Vern Martin is the JV coach, and Bob Fisher is the athletic director here at Antioch High School.
And Al played in the 70s, and Greg Davis played in the late 60s. Two good ball players from Antioch High.
Here's McGee on a pitch, and McGee gets about 7 around right end. Halsey is over there once again, and our friend Toli Anata.
And Frank Mercado helps Vern Martin with the JVs, and those two guys do a great job. And Frank played ball here at Antioch High.
The JV game ended in a 21-21 tie tonight, and Deer Valley was undefeated going to that game. So good action so far here at Antioch. A great crowd here tonight at Eels Field, which kind of reminds you of the old times in the 70s when Marv Comstock was the coach here, and there was a big crowd here at Antioch every night. No gain at all that time, maybe a gain of 1. It looked like 53, Wesley Davis made the tackle. Antioch calls timeout with 1:14 to go. It's going to be 3rd and about 3, Steve. And now what's your call in a situation like this? What are you going to call if you're in that huddle?
Well, I always like the sprint out with Joey Pate and get him rolling out. And even if it is against his body, it's the far side of the field. Get roll in the flat, get trucks in the flat, and to pick up 3 yards and just give him the option of running or throwing. I always like the option with the quarterback, Dan.
You know, here's the spot, some of the great friends of high school football and AT&T Broadband, of course, Paramount Technology. Rocco's Ristorante and Pizzeria in Walnut Creek. Great pizza there, Steve.
Rocco's.
Contra Costa Clean Water Program, and we have some great commercials for them. And Brendan Theaters, where God, what is the name of the new movie with Denzel Washington, guys? Come on, give me the name. That's it. Training. I knew we brought Rage Against the Machine in here for something. He's probably going to the 10:30 showing. It's Denzel Washington and Ethan Hawke. It's like a gang thing about 2 cops. It looks like a great flick. But,
anything when Denzel's in, it's good.
My mind was just floating right there. I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to do tomorrow. I got tickets to the Giants game. I got tickets to the.
I'll tell you what you're going to do. You're going to give me the Giant tickets, and you're going to the Sharks game. We've already talked about
this. Well, these people are watching this actually after I've made the decision, but I'm making that decision.
Well,
tonight.
I'm just hoping Bonds hits 60 or 71 tonight, so I can go tomorrow.
It's $100 a ticket, Steve. Make the check out to Big Dan.
Oh my God! I
3rd
can't
and
believe
3.
you would charge me money for a ticket.
3rd and 3. The ball at the 40. Pitch to Beltram. And Beltram falls down. In high school football, where that knee goes down, that's the spot, Steve. So Antioch's going to have a decision to make here. I would imagine they'll go for it with 1 minute to go. And Deer Valley really without that long passing threat. Drummond is a good underneath type thrower. If Chris Hurd was the quarterback, he could have thrown the ball into the band. He could have hit the trumpet player over here.
Yes, he could have.
Maybe even the tuba player.
And Washington State's been doing very well this year. You notice that?
Washington State has been.
They've been doing very good.
That's the thing about football. We were going to talk about that earlier. What is going on in high school football in this area? Last week, Liberty beat Antioch. Ignacio beat Pittsburgh. I don't know what's going on with Pittsburgh. We'll maybe see next week. Antioch lost, I mentioned that. Deer Valley beat Freedom, who was unbeaten. Acalanes nearly beat Miramani. It just seems to be parity is everywhere.
Dan, is parity in the BVAL, just like in the NFL. Like Pete Rozelle wanted, we finally got it in the BVAL.
There's been some great high school football. There's been some, look at last week in college football. What were there, 7 games in the top 25 decided in the last play or something?
I'll tell you a team to look out for the Pac-10. Look out for Stanford.
Oh, yeah. Stanford's
look out
good.
for Stanford.
I'll tell you a team not to look out for.
Oregon State.
And Cal.
And Cal.
They're going to have the non-Rose Bowl in January between those two teams. Boy, what a disappointment in up there in Oregon and also here in Berkeley. 4th down, handoff Beltram. And Beltram looked like he ran into a brick wall right around the 38-yard line. It's going to depend on the spot, Steve. I think, you know what, Jim Magana's on the sideline going ballistic because I think they're going to give them a spot to give him a 1st down, and it didn't look like he got it.
You know, and Wesley Davis really did a good job, and Mendoza did a real good job of blocking that up right here, Dan. Let's watch it. Here's Beltram. Look at him. He's already taken off, and he runs on the right-hand side, and it looks like he does. He runs into a wall right there, and he got a very good spot. They ran behind Sino and Hatch again. They like that right side.
Oh, but they measured and they held. So
Yeah.
they didn't give him a bad spot. So far, Steve, I think the most valuable player has been the guy with the yard marker over there with the chains. What do you think?
I think he's from Deer Valley.
Well, what about the time Antioch got that? You know what? You could probably say he's from Antioch.
Yeah, that's right. He's from Antioch.
He's rooting for a team from Antioch, and tonight he's going to get a victory from one of them unless they end in a tie like the junior varsity game. But, of course, these games can't end in a tie. We could have overtime, so we'll have to wait and see. 49 seconds to go, 1st half. Hicks, the handoff, right up the middle. Hicks dancing. Oh,
Whoa.
my goodness.
Number 4.
Maurice Tyner. Man, that is called stopping the ball carrier.
And let's watch this, Dan. And right here is just a quick counter right up the middle, and Hicks is going up. And right here, Tyner says, hey, baby, it's not who you take to the dance, it's who you leave with what counts.
I don't think he had time to say that. Here's Marcus Robertson, and another great tackle.
Who are these guys?
Man,
Trucks.
Anthony Trucks just destroyed Roberts after Tyner destroyed Hicks. And I'll tell you, Steve, that last one wasn't very fair when you consider Trucks is 6'2", 195, and Roberts is 5'7", 160.
But Roberts, he's a good little player, though. He'll get up and bounce right back. A lot of speed, good back, who's very versatile.
And he's just a junior, so he's going to play 2 more years on the varsity baseball team. He played with Daniel Denham, of course, who was a first-round draft pick of the Cleveland Indians. Let's take a look at the rest of our sponsors and great friends of AT&T Broadband High School Football. Rock Bottom Records, New Mecca Cafe, Images of 3 Hair Salon, S&S Import Service, Golf and Games, Concord Beverage, Pantel's Music Box, A&B Creative Trophies, Mercado's Hairstylist for Men, and Action Video. They are great friends, and another great friend is David Schwimmer. He's another great friend.
Who's David Schwimmer?
He's one of those friends.
Oh, okay.
You ever watch Friends?
There's,
so I'm not going to give them to you because every time we say a great friend in the rest of the season, we're going to use a friend. So we've used Jennifer Aniston, who's the best friend.
There you go.
And
if you're going to
Schwimmer.
get the friends, let's get to the good friends.
And we can use, if we have playoff games, we'll use Jennifer Aniston every week until the season's over.
I'd love to use Jennifer Aniston.
So much for that.
Yes.
Oh, nice inside handoff
yes.
to Hicks. Hicks gets a block from Garrison, still on his feet, dancing down inside the 35-yard line, tackled by Trucks. 21 seconds to go. The Chains will move on 1st down, a gain of 17.
And let's watch this right here, Dan. And right here, Hicks, it's just that little misdirection, and he does about 4 James Brown moves. Ha! Good guy. Good golly. Jump back, kiss myself. Right here, hot tub. And right there, he moves the chains, Dan.
Papa's got a brand new bag.
That's right. Papa's got a brand new 1st down. Hey!
I think Antioch calls timeout now.
They're trying to regroup on defense. Right now, Hicks has really had some good runs. It'd be interesting to see what his totals are at halftime, Dan. He's really ran the ball really well the 1st half. They just haven't capitalized. I'd have to say he's probably got 60 or 70 yards.
He's got 92 on 13 carries because Robert Rice, the ace statistician on here on AT&T Broadband, taken over for his grandfather, Dave Jackson, who's at a wedding reception somewhere. Couldn't be here tonight, but he's doing a hell of a job.
Tell your grandfather he's fired.
1st down, Drummond to throw. Oh, a blitz from Williams. Oh, and it's almost picked off by number 88, Frank Rowe. I'll tell you what, Antioch, you know what, Steve? I really like their game plan tonight.
Yeah.
They came out with Beltram. in the backfield. Look at some of the defensive pressure they put on him.
Let's watch this. Drummond right here. Big O, he's just like about a 15-step drop, and he lets it go right here. He gets some pressure, and right there, Roll almost makes, he would have had pay dirt right there if he would have caught that. So Deer Valley dodges a bullet right there.
And they ran some interesting plays in the fake punt. So I really think Antioch, even though they're only ahead 7-0, are really taking it to Deer Valley, even though Deer Valley's still in this game. Drummond, a short pass, and it's in and out of the hands of Joe Magana towards the near sideline here. And once again, they picked on Johnson. There's 13 seconds to go. It'll be 3rd down. And here comes Deer Valley lining up quickly. And Tim Manley paying us a visit up here.
And he showed up with my ribs. Tim Manley.
Oh, my goodness. Look at those ribs.
Huh? He told me he was going to take care of us with some ribs.
Wait, we got ribs. Here's a picture of the ribs, Steve, right here.
Look at Tim Manley.
Look at those ribs.
Look, oh, my God.
Oh, man.
Those are mine. Where's Dan's at?
Here we go. Drummond on 3rd down. Going to the end zone. Coker's out there in double coverage. And it's knocked down. What a great play that time. D'Lo Hilton was out there. Safety help from Zach Robinson. 6 seconds to go. Deer Valley will have one more play, and I'm not even letting you get near those until you get a bib.
The ribs?
No, not a rib, a bib.
The ribs.
Oh,
Tim bought me a bib.
Manley brought you a
bib. Here's the replay right here, Dan. And right there's down the sideline. Drummond hangs it up a little bit, and it almost got picked. He threw into double coverage, and it looks like they're going to have maybe one more play, so we'll look for a ball going into the end zone.
That would be the best place to throw it right now, I think.
I would think so.
Okay.
But you might hit one of them band members back there, Dan.
This does have the makings of the Cal Stanford game back in 1982. Last play of the first half. Antioch leads 7-0. AT&T Broadband Game of the Week. Here's Drummond over the middle. Picked off by Beltram. And Beltram is to the 35, and that'll end the first half on a positive note for Antioch. They lead 7-0. Steve, give us your opinion of the first half of play here tonight.
Well, my opinion of the first half is Tim Manley brought me ribs, and I'm starved. I'm going to eat some of them. Dan, it was a very evenly matched game for the first half. Antioch, they punched in a touchdown. Pate threw the ball very well. Hicks ran the ball very well for Deer Valley. They've kind of going back and forth, couple mistakes and penalties on both sides of the ball, Dan, kind of even things out. So this game's up for grabs, Dan.
I think the big play was that fake punt. Antioch went in. Let's take a look at the touchdown. This also was a very, very nice play, Steve. The pass into the corner of the end zone, the right corner to Hilton from Joey Pate.
And here it is, Dan. And right here is just like a 2-step drop, and he throws it. Watch this one-hand catch, baby.
Oh.
Just beautiful. Right on the corner of the end zone, 7 for Antioch.
Hilton makes the catch for the touchdown, and Antioch leads their arch rival Deer Valley 7-0. We'll be back at the start of the 3rd quarter after this.
Tonight's AT&T Broadband Game of the Week is made possible in part by a generous donation from Rocco's Ristorante Pizzeria in Walnut Creek. Located in the Encina Grande Shopping Center, Rocco's Ristorante Pizzeria has classic Italian pastas and gourmet pizzas in a family atmosphere. Locally owned and operated by Rocco Bialy and family, Rocco's was voted the best pizza by readers of the Contra Costa Times. A great place to go to watch the AT&T Broadband Game of the Week. And Brendan Theaters Concord, featuring 14 screens of movie magic. All theaters have Lucasfilm THX digital sound systems, stadium-style seating with high-back comfortable love seat chairs, and an unobstructed view. Reserve your tickets over the phone, and remember, movies always make a great gift. You can even find your favorite movie soundtrack in the lobby of the theater. And Paramount Technology of Concord. Located behind Tower Records in Concord, Paramount Technology has it all. Mobile computer service calls, in-house repair, and a friendly atmosphere. Your computer wizards with expert service and products for today and tomorrow's computer world. Thanks again to Rocco's Ristorante and Pizzeria of Walnut Creek, Brendan Theaters of Concord and Pittsburgh, and Paramount Technology of Concord for being part of our community and making tonight's production possible.
Hey, get me out of here! Help! Help! Help!
Wow, a filter that talks.
Wow, a human that doesn't know throwing an oil filter in the garbage can will pollute our landfills and our environment.
I've got a better plan for the future of Mr. Filter. After changing your oil and filter, place the filter in a sealed plastic bag. Make sure it doesn't leak, and take it to a certified used oil and filter collection center. They will then properly dispose of Mr. Filter in an environmentally friendly way.
Hey, wait a second. Don't close that door. Don't close it. Whoa!
Recycle your used oil filters for a cleaner future. For more information, call 1-800-NO-DUMPING or check out my website at www.funnelhead.com.
Back at Antioch High School in Eels Field, the score at halftime, the Antioch Panthers 7 and Deer Valley nothing here on the AT&T Broadband Game of the Week. Dan Wall and Steve Sanchez, and in the truck tonight, Ron Carter and Matt Bolander. And Steve, it was a very competitive first half. We're going to take a look at the statistics of the first half here after the break, but we're going to take a look at the statistics now. You can see there that it's 143 to 124. Deer Valley is rushed for 92, Antioch for 100. So passing pretty even, first downs pretty even. The one turnover for Deer Valley and the fake punt is what really killed Deer Valley in the first half.
You know, Dan, and it's been a very even game, evenly matched, and look forward to the second half.
We're going to take a 2-minute break, and we'll be back after this.
AT&T Broadband Game of the Week is made possible in part by a generous donation from Rocco's Ristorante Pizzeria in Walnut Creek. Located in the Encina Grande Shopping Center, Rocco's Ristorante Pizzeria has classic Italian pastas and gourmet pizzas in a family atmosphere. Locally owned and operated by Rocco Bialy and family, Rocco's was voted the best pizza by readers of the Contra Costa Times. A great place to go to watch the AT&T Broadband Game of the Week. And Brendan Theaters Concord, featuring 14 screens of movie magic. All theaters have Lucasfilm THX digital sound systems, stadium-style seating with high-back comfortable love-seat chairs, and an unobstructed view. Reserve your tickets over the phone, and remember, movies always make a great gift. You can even find your favorite movie soundtrack in the lobby of the theater. And Paramount Technology of Concord. Located behind Tower Records in Concord, Paramount Technology has it all. Mobile computer service calls, in-house repair, and a friendly atmosphere. Your computer wizards with expert service and products for today and tomorrow's computer world. Thanks again to Rocco's Ristorante and Pizzeria of Walnut Creek, Brendan Theaters of Concord and Pittsburgh, and Paramount Technology of Concord for being part of our community and making tonight's production possible.
Frankie, what are you doing underneath your car?
What do you think I'm doing? I'm changing my oil and filter.
Come on, let's go. The girls won't wait forever.
As soon as I clean this mess up, we can go.
Toss that oil and filter in the garbage. We gotta go.
Are you crazy? I'm not stupid. If I dump this oil and filter in that garbage can, it will end up polluting the nearby landfill and later the bay.
Just toss it in the garbage over there, or in the storm drain.
Boy, Chaz, you just don't get it. Whatever goes down the storm drains goes directly to the river, delta, and the bay. And most importantly, to your precious surf beaches.
You're kidding me, right?
No, I'm not. Do the right thing. Take care of your used motor oil and filter and recycle it.
Back at Antioch High School, the score, the Panthers 7 and the Wolverines nothing on the AT&T Broadband Game of the Week. And there we are, Steve, and that's a scary sight for most of the people here in East County.
Oh, my God, that'd make a train take a dirt road.
Yes, it would, especially after all those ribs you ate at halftime. We're waiting for the arrival of the Antioch Panthers and the Deer Valley Wolverines to the field, and Joey Acuna is trying to secure Ferris Anthony for an interview. While we have an opportunity, Joey Pate threw for 43 yards for Antioch in the first half. McGee only 4 rushes for 14. Beltram actually had 7 for 29, and Trucks caught the one big pass for 27. Drummond's 5 and 9 for 23 yards for Deer Valley. Hicks has 92 yards rushing for Deer Valley, and Magana 3 catches for 36 yards. And that's the statistics here, as Deer Valley is trailing 7-0 in tonight's game. And we're going to throw it down to Joey Acuna, who's got Coach Ferris Anthony. Go, Joey.
Thanks, Dan. I'm here with the coach, Coach Anthony for the Panthers. Coach, you're up 7-0. We talked before the game. You said no mistakes. Joey Pate's got to have a great game. What did you say in the locker room to the guys?
Well, we told them to keep the intensity up. I think we're playing some pretty intense football right now. and it's probably why we're up 7-0. We've got intensity going, and defense is fueling off of that. And it's just a real good high school football game going on right now, and it's very enjoyable to be on the field and to be coaching it. It's exciting.
Hey, Coach, good luck in the second half.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Back upstairs to you, Dennis C.
And the last time Ferris did an interview like that, he was telling the guy, listen, you pencil neck geek, I'm going to throw you off the top of the stage, and that's going to be the end of you.
Yeah, a lot of people, now that we're carrying over there in the East County, Dan, or not the East County, but over in Concord and Danville and that whole area, or Moraga, a lot of people don't realize, but I'll tell you what, the kids love playing for Ferris Anthony. They love it. My daughter went to school there last year, Tara, and she used to tell me, Dad, the kids love Ferris. He's just a great man, and these guys will run through a brick wall for this guy. So the motivational-wise, he can really motivate kids.
Another thing is he always orders 7 pizzas, and there's at least 5 left after he's done. So there's a lot of pizza to go around, too.
Well, he thinks of other people, is what he does.
Unlike you, who would have ate all 7.
Well, if you would have stopped me with those ribs to take home to Selena for you and her, you had to put the lid on that thing
I
for
have
me.
never seen anyone eat so many ribs in my life.
Well, Tim Manley, you got to take your hat off to him on them ribs.
There's one of your favorite sayings, too. You haven't used that one tonight. Take your hat off to him.
Take
our hat off to Tim Manley. Deer Valley's going to kick, and Antioch will move from our right to left to start the second half. They lead 7-0, the AT&T Broadband Game of the Week. Dan Wall and Steve Sanchez with Ron Carter, Matt Bolander, and all of our great crew out here at Antioch High School. And the second half is underway. And that's Zach Robinson, and Robinson's still on it. Oh, man! What a bunch of hitting that's going on out there right now, Steve. That was number 80 who came in. Yeah, well, that was Clark Rupp if it was number 80. They changed a bunch of numbers on us
Yeah,
tonight,
they really
Steve.
have, Dan. Who is this, Dan? Tyler?
That's Zach Robinson.
Zach Robinson gets the ball right here, and right here he gets a full head of steam, and he's got a little seam right there. Here comes Joey McGann, and it watch this hit right here. Hello, and
That
from
was-
the side,
that
number
was
30 came in
Roop
too.
and Francis making the tackle. First down, deep pitch to Trucks in the game, running the ball on a sweep, and Trucks kind of methodically dances his way through the hole and gets 6 yards on the first play of the second half, Steve. This is a big football game, and
It
I
really
have
is.
to agree with just about everything Ferris said. It's been an intense game.
Yeah.
It's been a good game. There haven't been a lot of mistakes. It's been very competitive, and it's a great game with all these people.
It
There's
really
about 6,000 people out
And
here
that
tonight.
was a methodical run.
And by the way, congratulations to Barry Bonds. He has hit the 71st home run and now holds the record.
And so now those tickets you were going to sell me for 100 just dropped in price,
They
didn't
went to 40.
Okay, thank you.
40 and the rest of the ribs.
That's awfully nice of you.
Here's a handoff to McGee. And I'll tell you what, Steve, there is some intense tackling going on out there on this field tonight. I think Ugardi might have been on that play, and I also saw number 35, Joe Selesky, come up.
Ugardi and Selesky both were on that play, Dan.
So the Antioch Panthers ahead 7-0 here, Steve. But last week, Steve, they had a lead early and they lost it to Liberty. This is where you have to be real careful with Pate. Pate has a penchant of throwing interceptions, and he throws the kind of interceptions that not only are interceptions and turnovers, but they turn into touchdowns.
Well, Dan, this is a real big play starting off the second half right here. It's about 3rd and 1. Antioch needs it to move the chains, and they're right about midfield, and they're going to pick it up.
Yep,
and
that-
then some.
straight
Nice call
ahead.
by Pate.
Yep, straight ahead. So, Steve, quickly, I just wanted to, we reviewed the games from Liberty and Antioch. Next week, Antioch plays here against Freedom in what is homecoming. And, of course, your daughter was a homecoming finalist last year.
Yes,
here
she
at
was,
Antioch High
and
School.
they got Freedom, and that should be a good game. Freedom is on the up and up. They got a program out there in Oakley to where they're doing a very good job. Mr. Rodriguez, Larry does a good job with them kids out there, and they're on the up and up.
And Deer Valley plays Ignacio Valley. And so we've got some good games next week. That'll be at Deer Valley. Set the stage for next week. Let's get back to tonight's game now. Antioch with a little bit of confusion. They've got 2 wide receivers who were far side, now near side. That's Trucks and Tyner in the slot, and Pate to throw. And this is where you got to be careful. And Pate gets sacked by number 53, Wesley Davis. Steve, that's what I was telling you about Pate. He's a little guy. And when you put him back there in that pocket and he's not moving,
yeah,
things can happen.
Here's the replay, and from the right-hand side, Dan, let's see what happens here. And here he comes from the right-hand side, number 53, just manhandles him right there. Joey had no protection, and Wesley Davis just made a real good play on the right-hand side from his left-hand side linebacker's position.
It's 2nd and 18, Steve. And if they lose any more yardage, you're going to have to come up with a location to the right. There's
Okay.
a few down there. That's your routes down there. You should know
I
everything.
know a lot
down
of locations down there.
Pate to throw. 5-step drop. Throws 1 to Tyner, and he throws it behind him. and that's number 29. Once again, Demario Bullard was listed as 29 on our roster. He was supposed to be 41. Maybe he went and changed back to 29.
Who knows? With high school, with kids nowadays, you may be riding on the bus over here, and the kid looks, he goes, "I forgot my jersey, coach." Here,
Steve,
here, have
I was
one
in
here.
the Antioch locker room at practice the other day, and at least 5 guys came in looking for stuff they lost from the day before.
There you go. The kids at that age, they lose stuff. Right now, Dan is third in Riverview Lodge.
There you go. And you know, I know your son Jason. You know what he lost?
What's
His
that?
mind, for Christ.
Oh, yes.
He was over there at the Sharks game the other day.
He loves you, though, Dan.
All right, I love him too. 3rd and 18, McCartney, I call him. And Pate overthrows Trucks. And once again, number 29, who we have listed as Bullard, but could be someone else, is out there for Deer Valley on coverage. And I think the crowd over here thought there might have been a little bit of interference, but it was really an uncatchable ball, and so Antioch forced a punt.
Forced a punt. And you know, Dan, I wish somebody could see a Dan Wall at a Shark game. He's got this section, and he controls the whole section. Dan's the mayor of this section, and he's got people getting them drinks, bringing them stuff, asking them questions, want to know what to do about the world today, and then what's going on, who they're going to draft next year. And Dan, he talks to all of them except that one guy.
Loma to kick. And that's not a very good kick this time from Loma. And the ball's going to go out of bounds, and Deer Valley's going to get it at the 34-yard line. 9:05 to go, third quarter. And let's say hello to our great friends of high school football here on AT&T Broadband. Rocco's Ristorante and Pizzeria, Brendan Theaters, Contra Costa Clean Water Program, Paramount Technology, and Action Video make up that first great group, and we'll get to some more in just a minute. And we want to thank Joey Acuna. He's come out here and done a fine job as our sideline reporter. Unfortunately, with all of our great friends we have here, we have to mention him, and Joey doesn't have as much airtime, but he did a good interview there earlier.
That was number 71, Jason Trent, on the sidelines pacing there a little bit ago. Looked like he had something on his mind.
First down, handoff, Hicks. And Hicks over the left side. 2 Panthers in on that tackle, Steve.
Picks up about 6 or 7, Dan.
I see Sino coming out of there, and of course, his stepfather is Anthony Borelli, the line coach for the Panthers.
Yes, he is. And let's watch him right here. And right there, Hicks runs off the left-hand side of Anderson and Garrison and Holt, and he picks up about 6 or 7 yards. They move the chains. They're going to get ready to move the chains.
2nd and 4. Once again, the handoff. This time it was the first back through.
And our man Beltram on the tackle.
That was Francis, and Beltram makes the tackle. It's going to be 3rd and short. And Deer Valley, Steve, is just playing this methodical, grinded out, trying to get something going. The one thing about I can see right now, they don't have the big home run threat.
No, they really don't. And what they do, Dan, is they try to give it to Hicks and move the chains a little bit. And Drummond just keeps you honest enough. They throw just enough to keep you honest, where you got Magana and Coker on the outside where you got to really watch them. So they are a threat, too.
3rd down. Oh, and they barely got that handoff off to Ugardi, but Ugardi with a great run. Ugardi just pounding ahead for a first down. Ugardi broke a couple of tackles, Steve, and then Redmond came over. He had help from Lontavius Johnson was over there, Jesse Williams, John Cena. You can see all the Panthers.
They were all
but
over
that
there.
was a good power run right there.
Oh, really nice. And right here's Ugardi going on the right-hand side, Dan, of Deer Valley's offense. Troy Nunez and Eugene Bradley, they open it up for him. And right here's just pure determination right there by Ugardi. Real good runner. He's going to move the chains.
You see Beltram also in on that tackle. First down. The ball just inside Antioch territory at the 49. They run that double fake handoff once again to Hicks. And Hicks this time to the left side of the line, and he's got a gain of about 8 on that play, Steve. So 7:30 to go, and even though they don't have a home run threat, they don't need one right now. They just need to go down and score a touchdown to tie this game.
Well, Dan, they ran behind Matt Anderson and Charles Holt again on the left-hand side. Right now they're having their way up front. They're winning the battle a little bit on the offensive line. They're chewing up the clock. They come down here and get 7. We got a game on our hands.
Hicks has 116 yards rushing tonight. So he's over 100 for the 2nd straight game, and that's an interesting story for Hicks. And Hicks is going to add to that total, and he gets another first down to the 38-yard line, and Beltram's there again. Hicks transferred to Antioch and did not play summer football, or was not a part of the summer program, Steve, and now you can see him starting for Deer Valley because he transferred over there.
Right here, Dan, they're just they run around the right-hand side of Nunez and Bradley again. They like that side, and he picked up the first down. They moved the chains. And, yeah, Dan, he didn't put in enough practices for Antioch. And Antioch said, hey, you know, you're a good player, but you can't come to 2 practices and play with the kids who've been here for 30 practices. So he went to Deer Valley, and Deer Valley grabbed him.
And they got Aaron McGee, and this might be good for both teams. And there's Hicks again, and that's Trucks. You know, Steve, now that's
a strip.
Oh, wow. Oh, they totally missed that unless they had the his forward motion stopped there. But watch this.
Let's watch it, Dan, on replay right here, and see if we can't pick up.
We don't have that.
Okay,
replay,
we don't have the replay, huh?
They must have said forward motion stopped at the 36-yard line. That was a strip by Trucks, but the whistle must have blown. No replay here in high school football. 2nd and 8, quick pitch to Hicks, and that was a hold, and I could see that up here, which means one of two things, Steve. Either I'm getting really good, or that was just a really bad hold.
Probably a little bit of both.
Number 45, Sean Parsley. I'll tell you, Steve, he just drugged down that Antioch Panther, and Dave Kataya threw that flag emphatically right in front of him, son. He said, that's a hold.
Here's the replay. Let's see if we can't
right
catch.
There.
Oh, there it is right there, and he just hooks him. And
look.
Oh, yeah. That's pretty much a hold right there.
I'll repeat 2nd down.
If you need a
Eric Cannon got held big time.
If you need a play for like some kind of video football dictionary
Left
or something,
running back.
What's that?
There it was. The ref's mic was still on.
Oh.
If you need here's a video, a 5-minute clip of holding,
and here's how not to do it.
That was holding. 2nd and 20. Drummond to throw. Drummond throws a slant to McGanna, and great coverage that time.
Great coverage
By Lontavius Johnson. That was a great play. That's one thing. They're letting these kids play tonight. There's not a lot of pass interference calls. These guys are an experienced crew, and they're calling it like an experience.
And you know what, Dan? That was a real good play defensive-wise on Johnson's part, and Drummond put it right on the money to McGanna, but he just broke it up. Deer Valley needs to keep driving right here. Keep a big 3rd down play, Dan.
6 minutes to go exactly here in the 3rd quarter. Antioch 7, Deer Valley nothing at Eels Field in Antioch, tonight's AT&T Broadband Game of the Week. And this is Roberts on 3rd down, and Roberts has about 5, maybe 10, and Redmond makes the tackle, but it's going to be short of a 1st down at the 36-yard line. So Deer Valley is going to be forced once again into a decision. Right here though, Steve, they've been stopping Antioch. I'd almost punt here and try to pooch it and get Antioch into really bad field position.
Well, Dan, here's the replay right here. We're going to see Roberts right here. There's a quick pitch from Drummond. And right here, he's running to the outside. He makes a nice cut. There's a good block by 45, 76. Nunes makes a good block, and they move it on down the field. They got a big 4th down play right here, Dan. They're going to go for it. But I understand what you're saying, Dan. Right now, it might be a good time to punt and pin them.
4th and 8. Drummond to throw. That's Trucks. Oh, Trucks does it again. And Trucks is having a big game on defense when you really thought he might have a big game on offense, Steve. He forced that deflection, and Antioch takes over.
Yeah, Trucks has really had a couple plays, isolated, Dan, where he almost made the play. There's Coach Ferris Anthony right there. There's Vern Martin. Coach Butterfield, there they all are.
Here's our schedule for the rest of the season. De La Salle, Pittsburgh next week. Now, we told you there might be a possibility we might do a different game. You're just going to have to watch next week, but I'd say 90% chance we'll do De La Salle, Pittsburgh. You saw the rest of them. We'll see the Antioch Panthers 3 more times this week. This season. Here's Trucks on 1st down. They've ran that deep pitch to Trucks now a couple of times, Steve. Anyway, we'll see Antioch again against Clayton Valley, and then we'll see him against Ignacio Valley and against Pittsburgh. And that Antioch-Pittsburgh game, if you've never seen one, that's just a great high school football atmosphere.
Yeah, it really is, Dan. There's a tradition that goes back to Christopher Columbus, and they've been playing football.
Christopher, that was in 1492.
Weren't they playing football back then, Dan?
No, they weren't playing football in 1492.
Well, anyway.
Christopher Columbus.
Well, they've been playing a long time.
It goes back to maybe like
what?
Roosevelt.
Okay.
I mean, Christopher Columbus. That was 1492, the Mayflower, Steve.
Allendor or Theodore? Franklin?
2nd and 8. And Pate throws a pass, just a quick little hitch pass out to 82 Trucks, and it's incomplete. So it'll be 3rd down. You can see here, Steve, that if Trucks would have caught this, he could have went a little bit and maybe gotten a 1st down. And he was in motion.
He's in motion right here. Does a little spin around move. Pate throws it right to where he shouldn't, right to his hands, and he goes right through him.
So Antioch 1-2-1 on the season. The tie came in a game we showed you against Monte Vista, against 2-2 Deer Valley, and they're battling here tonight. It's 7-0 Antioch. They haven't scored since their first drive of the game, and it's 3rd and 8, and that's Hilton in motion. And they fake and give it to McGee, and McGee gets about 5, but it's going to be short of a first down, Steve, and Antioch's going to be forced to kick again with 4:16 to go, third quarter, and Deer Valley just is holding them. They're playing good, tough defense. This is a very good competitive game, but they cannot get into the end zone.
Well, you know, Deer Valley, they're playing good defense. Antioch's playing pretty decent defense. Antioch's kind of doing the, we're bending, but we're not breaking. Hicks is chalking up a lot of yards. It seems like Deer Valley between the 20s are moving the ball pretty good, but when they get down close to the red zone, not quite in the red zone, but close to it, they kind of stumble a little bit.
Loma to kick. What a...
Did you see that?
Francis just absolutely annihilated number 16 for Antioch. That's Brett Fisher, who's a sophomore and a backup quarterback. He just came in and destroyed him, and Loma kicks a short kick that goes out of bounds at the 35. Deer Valley will take over. They need to go 65 yards for a tie. And Bonds hit another home run. Bond, that means, now I know that you guys already know about this.
You know what? I'm just going to give you $10 for them tickets, that's all.
Well, you got to remember something, Steve. Every home run he hits is a new record.
Where's your seats at? The right field?
Right behind center, behind home plate.
Oh, man.
Handoff inside Ugardi, and Ugardi gets a couple. I don't know. I might go and then just leave at 2:30 and
there
go to the
you go. I
game.
think you should go.
We'll see what happens. I still got some time to make up my mind. We're going to call that a gain of 2. It's 2nd and 8, Deer Valley. The ball at the 37-yard line. 3:19 to go, third quarter. Antioch 7, Deer Valley nothing. And Steve, they've ran that play about 50 times, and you know what? It's worked a lot
49.
of them. Yeah. Hicks, a first down, a gain of 10. They fake the first back one way, and they just hand off going back the other way. Little misdirection, and it's opening holes. 128 yards for Hicks. And it's Stefan Hicks, not Steve. Like Stephon Mateau for the Sharks, who better score a goal tomorrow. First down, the ball at the 46. Here's Hicks again. That time Hicks barely back to the line of scrimmage.
Richie Beltram on the tackle, along with number 88. I think that is Frank Rowe. He was in on the tackle. You know, Deer Valley, Troy Nunez and Eugene Bradley and Charles Holt and Matt Anderson and Grant Garrison and Adam Belter, they've been doing a real good job up front on the offensive line, Dan. They've really been controlling the ball in between the 30s. They need to sustain the drive and try to punch something in and put a little pressure on Antioch's offense.
Oh, that time they do 2 fakes, and Drummond rolls, and Drummond, oh, man! Oh, man, that was Grant Garrison, the intended receiver, and number 42, Zach Robinson, just came in and said, hello, Grant.
And I'll tell you, there is some hitting going on right here, Dan. And right here, here's Garrison. Look at him. He does a double fake. Drummond right here, he surveys the field, throws it over, and he goes, Mr. Garrison, hello, I am Mr. Robinson. Nice shot.
Man, absolutely incredible, the hitting that's going on. There's been a number of big hits. This is a very good, you know what this game reminds me of, Steve? Remember about 12 or 13 years ago, the Giants and the Niners played a game at Candlestick, and the final score was 7-3. Now, a lot of people would think that's a boring game. That was one of the best football games I ever saw. There was great playing, there was great defense, there was great hitting, and it just so happened that was 10 points scored in that game, and this game kind of reminds me of it. Drummond on third down, has a receiver. It's Magana, and Magana has a first down. Now, that was a very well-conceived play, got just enough yardage for the first down.
And it was really good play by Joey Magana and Michael Drummond. They hooked up. They moved the chains. Let's watch it right here. Michael looked like he had a lot of confidence right here. Just rolls out a little bit to the right, gets his feet underneath him, throws a nice ball, and McGann does a little down and out right there and moves the chains and says, you can't touch this.
Once again, the same play, this time Roberts. And Roberts is gang tackled. I see Trucks there. I see Tyner.
Jesse Williams, number 79.
Jesse Williams. And number 58, John Sino. So a gain of 2.
And you know, Dan, when you get a game like this, it's kind of like a 1-0 baseball game, you know. Every play means something right here. Let's watch 79, see if he ain't the initial guy down low right here, Dan, who meets him first right here. And he kind of slows him up, and everybody else takes his wallet from him.
Yeah, he played off a block from 66 Deer Valley guard Charles Holt. and made a good play. 2nd and 8. And you know, the way Deer Valley moves the ball, Steve, they might need 13 more minutes to get in the end zone, even if they keep it the rest of the game.
Well, this is right now they're starting to get on Antioch's side of the field. Here comes a double reverse
Here's
to
a
McGanna.
double reverse to
And
McGanna.
it's set up.
There's a block in the back that didn't get called, and oh man, another train wreck. Beltram was there, Tyner, D'Lo, Hilton, and 82 Trucks. And Hilton and Trucks are just phenomenal.
They're really playing tough, and there's been some hitting on defense. Let's watch this right here, Dan. They set up real good, and let's watch Michael Drummond. He does a pretty good block right here. Here's Joey McGann turning upfield, and he turns it up right here. He picks up about 5 or 6 yards, but there's Beltram and Trucks and number 4 for Antioch High. Maurice Tyner, he was in on it.
Beltram, 5'11", 185 at junior. He's going to be a load next year. Here's Drummond to throw. Drummond has Magana again, and Magana has another first down for Deer Valley, moving the chains at the 28-yard line. Redmond was there in coverage. 1:17 to go, Steve. Deer Valley threatening to finally come in and tie this one.
Well, you know, Dan, they're on the 28-yard line of Antioch. Let's watch it right here. It looks like to me Michael Drummond's starting to get a little confidence underneath his feet right here. And right here he kind of rolls out and he just sets up real nice, throws a real nice ball and hits McGann right on the numbers. They move the chains, and Deer Valley's got some action going on, Dan.
And I'd like to say hello to Mike Drummond's parents, who are friends of mine, and his wife, excuse me, his mom, his dad's wife, graduated with my wife, Selena.
And her name is?
Lisa.
Lisa and
James. James is
Jimmy.
Yeah, Jimmy. Yeah, Jimmy was a roadie for the Thrust Band back in the 80s.
Was he really?
Yeah.
And he coached my boy in Little League,
yeah.
Jim did.
I know Jim Drummond and Lisa very well, and they were at the reunion last year, and we talked to them, and we know a lot of people.
And if you want to get a carried father, Lisa's daughter is in my boy's 8th grade class.
Okay, that's enough now.
Well, if you want to go any farther. I mean, you know, how far do you want to take that Drummond thing? Gee, she started it.
No gain on first down, and
Jumped
Antioch
on the left side.
Yeah. We've been pretty good tonight, and I think we're going to have to because it's going to be a close fourth quarter.
Dan, you know, these kids
start. Offense, penalties 5 yards, down remains 2.
I got to be quiet while he talks, Dan.
Other than that, you've been perfect. You talk over Dave Katai. He's going to call me and go, "Did you tell Sanchez to shut up?"
Just when I'm talking, he can shut up.
I've known Dave Kataya for a long time too. He's a part of the Referees Association. He's the guy does the schedules, and I used to work for him and do a baseball and basketball games.
Okay, that's enough, Dan.
Okay. We've reached our limit.
Let's get back to the game.
Last
Daniel.
play of the third quarter. 5 seconds to go. Drummond to pass. Drummond's going to Magana. Magana has a step. Oh, and he just overthrows Magana at the 5-yard line. Number 21, Lontavius Johnson, there with the coverage. And that'll wrap up 3 quarters of play from Antioch High School. The score at the end of 3, the Panthers 7, the Wolverines nothing. We'll be back in 1 minute on AT&T Broadband.
Tonight's AT&T Broadband Game of the Week is made possible in part by a generous donation from Rocco's Ristorante Pizzeria in Walnut Creek. Located in the Encina Grande Shopping Center, Rocco's Ristorante Pizzeria has classic Italian pastas and gourmet pizzas in a family atmosphere. And Brendan Theaters Concord, featuring 14 screens of movie magic. All theaters have Lucasfilm THX digital sound systems, stadium-style seating with high-back comfortable love seat chairs.
Hey, what are you doing? Stop that right now!
I'm just dumping my oil in the garbage can.
By dumping used oil in the garbage, you might as well be dumping it in the ground. No! Recycle your used oil by curbing the crude. It's so simple. Place your used oil in a sealed jug on the sidewalk along with other recycled items. Call your waste management company for more details or check out our website at www.funnelhead.com.
Fourth quarter of play about to begin here at Antioch High School. Eels Field, the legendary Eels Field, where football's been played for many, many years, Steve Sanchez, and Antioch leads 7-0. We got to get right back to the action. They're not giving us very long quarter breaks.
No, they really aren't.
Drummond's already the line of scrimmage. 3rd and 15, the ball at the 34-yard line. Deer Valley needs this one. They are trailing 7-0 in tonight's game. And Drummond's going to throw deep. He's looking for Magana. Oh, and Magana had his hands on it. But you know what the problem is, Steve? They're just throwing into double coverage way too much.
Yeah. Let's watch the replay right here. Michael puts a nice throw on this ball, though, Dan. He stands tall in the pocket, Dan. And
yes,
I knew you'd like that one. And right here, he throws a good ball. And McGann almost makes a circus catch right here. He goes up for as high as he can, just a little bit out of his reach, though. Good coverage, double coverage, like you said to Antioch. And a big fourth down play right here, Dan. And it seems like this is as far as they've been getting. They move the ball, they march on down, they get down like inside the 35, and then they don't do nothing, Dan.
The usual suspects, Johnson and Robinson down there covering Magana on the pass from Drummond. 4th and 15. Drummond to throw, and he stands tall in the pocket. He throws a pass. Oh, another great hit. That went on number 21, Carlos Coker. And I think was that Beltram again, Steve?
Yes, it was, number 33.
Man, he is just a monster.
There's been more hits on this field than the Gotti family in New York had in the early 70s.
I didn't say it. Drummond 5 of 18 for 70 yards. But, Steve, you know, I really think that Antioch, this is the one area where Antioch has traditionally had some problems. Defensive backfield.
Yeah.
Teams have been able to exploit them, and they have played great pass defense tonight.
And, you know, they really have. And Drummond's had a little bit of time lately to throw the ball. I'm surprised he kind of went away from the run all of a sudden. You know, they were moving the ball in between the 30s with the Hicks real good. He's got 128 yards, and they got 0 on the scoreboard.
Antioch back to the spread offense with 3 wide receivers. Handoff McGee. They need to control the ball on the ground right here. And McGee gets hit hard. That was our buddy number 29 again, Steve, who could be DeMario Bullard. Of course, then again, it could be Joe Torres for all we know, because number 29 was on our roster, and then it was told he wasn't, and now he's back.
It could be Deion Sanders for all we know.
Antioch needs to control the ball, though, Steve. There's still 11:25 to go, and Deer Valley only needs a touchdown and a conversion, 1-point conversion to tie this game up. That would be exciting. 7-7 going to overtime.
Well, Deer Valley's used to overtime. They like him.
Gain of 4. Oh, he's wide open. This is going to be a big play to Smith. Oh, and Smith nearly drops it. Then he bobbles it. Then he makes the catch at the 29. Marcus Roberts down there in coverage. But, Steve, they did a hitch and go, and Smith went, and Roberts hitched.
Very good call, Dan. Let's watch your Roberts hitch and go right here. Joey Pate right here. This is his first catch right here. He does the double pump. He gets some pressure. He hangs in the pocket. And right there, he's got to hang up a little bit for the ball, and he bobbles it a little bit. And he was lucky to catch it, but it's a big game for the Panthers, and let's see what they do, Dan.
That was a beautiful play. A nice pass from Pate. First down, the ball at the 29-yard line of Deer Valley. 10:53 to go in the ball game. Antioch leads by 7. And T. Dixon, you know what Antioch's really showing me tonight? In the past, we thought it was going to be McGee, and it was going to be Trucks, and it was going to be Smith. And tonight we're seeing T. Dixon and Beltram and Redmond and Tyner and all these other guys. Rowe made a catch. They're really doing it offense by committee tonight, Steve.
They really are. Let's watch it right here, Dan. They run behind Norris, John Sino, and Brian Hatch on the right-hand side. There's a big hole right there. He picks up about 5 yards. And he runs with a full head of steam. I like the way he runs with the ball.
Jermaine DeJose among the Deer Valley tacklers on that play. Gain of 5, 2nd and 5. Handoff Dixon. And that time, you know what, Steve? Both teams are playing superb defense here tonight. John Halsey and number 56, Ian Tolianata. Oh, and you see Smith is getting looked at. I think he might have separated his shoulder or at least tweaked his shoulder because he got hit into the ground hard by Roberts right
Yeah,
there.
he really did. And they're working on him on the sidelines. But well, that was another good hit, Dan, as many hits as we've seen.
Let's send, we're not going to send it, but let's see if Joey can come up with the injury while he's down there. He's down there surveying. And if Joey Acuna, if you get that injury for us, let us know and we'll send it down to you. 3rd down. A loss of 1 on the last play. Antioch looking to go ahead. They need to score, Steve, or Deer Valley's going to have a chance here in the 4th quarter. Now they run the option, and this time McGee is outside, and McGee's knocked out of bounds at the 17-yard line. 1st down, Panthers.
Yeah, they're moving the ball right now, and they're doing what Deer Valley hasn't been doing inside the red zone right here. Pate holds it for a long time. Rowe kind of slips right there and misses a block that really could have sprung him, McGee. But they move the chains, and they've got something going on now.
Rodney Alexander knocked McGee out of bounds. Joey, let's send it down to Joey. He can give us an update on the injury. Go, Joey.
Thanks, Dan. Just a quick injury report. Number 8, Marcus Smith, was shaking up on that play. It's his left shoulder. He's questionable. Back upstairs to you.
That's why Joey makes the big bucks.
I'll tell you. That's why we couldn't afford him until halfway through the season.
You know, we had to bring Joey back.
And you saw that outfit he's wearing. I mean, he looks like Jay Leno or someone out there on the field.
Joey Leno.
Good job that time. And that's for Antioch, that's a big loss. But here, you know what, Steve, we were pointed out, and there's, David Nolan's out there. D'Lo Hilton caught the touchdown pass. Antioch has just been showing you a lot of looks tonight. They've run the spread. They've run two backs. They just ran an option. I don't think Deer Valley was expecting all this.
And they're using different personnel. You're absolutely right, Dan. They're kind of mixing things up, and they're getting results. And I said darn it.
You've been doing real good tonight.
I've been staying away from. And
first down, ball at the 17. Pate to Beltram. Beltram off left tackle. And Beltram doesn't run around people. He runs over people.
Well, he likes contact, Dan. Let's see some contact
that was
right here, Dan.
185 versus 155.
Let's watch Roberts. Roberts goes, I'm not going to. Watch Roberts right here. He's going to go, what kind of shoestrings are you wearing? I'm going to check him out real close. He goes up and
he did.
Knocks him down. He checks out his shoestrings, and it worked.
Man, Beltram just likes to hit people.
He does. It's about 2nd and 8, Dan. Let you take it right here.
He's like Muhammad Ali. He's like to hit people, too. Second down, and a pitch this time to Beltram, the deep back. And Beltram, it's like tit for tat, Steve. Back and forth. One guy makes a big play and then gets hit, and then they hit him back just as hard the next time. Watch this.
Let's watch number 30, Torres, on the defense right here. Beltram tries to come wide, and number 11 springs him out. And number 30 right there, he's the first guy of contact right there, and he loses about 4 or 5 yards.
It was Francis and Halsey and Matt Anderson on that tackle. But a loss of the play of 4. It's 3rd and 11. Antioch right at the 20-yard line, Steve, with 8:14 to go, ahead by 7. Would they risk a field goal attempt here if they do not get close? Pate to throw. It looks like they're going to set up a screen to Beltram, and they do, but that time it was read very well. And another loss on the play. Francis was in on that play again.
And now you're going to have to go down on 4th down.
And Halsey again. And Francis and Halsey are starting to exert themselves here on the Deer Valley
defense.
That's
right, Halsey right here, Dan, and Francis right here. They throw it out to Beltram. He makes the catch, and right here it's just they had it smelled out from the get-go.
Scott Sabrani should be very proud of his defense right there, Steve. We get told all the time that these kids don't know as much as we think they do, and as you move up the levels to college to pro, you learn more. But those guys read that screen from the blocking patterns.
They really did.
They knew that the line were pulling that way. It was a passing down, and they read screen, and they stopped it. And now Antioch forced to call a timeout. 7:27 to go here in the 4th quarter, and Antioch ahead 7-0. And let's talk about our great friends of the game, Steve. Do you have any friends here tonight?
Dan, you know what? I was like the mayor. I was walking through this. I worked this crowd to death.
Rocco's Ristorante and Pizzeria, Brendan Theaters, Contra Costa Clean Water Program, Paramount Technology. Oh, and there's Paramount Technology. I'm sorry, there's Rocco's Ristorante and Pizzeria, Contra Costa Clean Water Program, and Brendan Theaters. Training Day is the name of that movie, Steve. And, of course, our other friends, New Mecca Cafe, Concord Beverage, Rock Bottom Records, Antioch Opticians, Pantel's Music Box, S&S Imports, A&B Creative Trophy, Images of 3 Hair Salon, Mercado's Barbershop, and Golf and Games. And, Steve, here's a couple of new records coming out. You can pick them up at Rock Bottom Records next week.
What are they called, Dan?
Have you ever heard of Lit?
Lit?
No, I didn't say have you ever been lit.
Oh.
I said have you ever heard of Lit?
I had, lit on my shirt the other day.
Not lint.
Oh.
Lit.
No,
L-I-T.
Never heard of it. Are they good,
they're
Dan?
a good, happening modern rock band. They have a new album coming out. Ron Carter, actually, likes Lit a lot.
Okay.
And he has been lit.
And who else is coming out?
Also, Alice Cooper has a new album.
Oh, I like
coming
Alice.
out. Okay, so Alice Cooper, a new album at Rock Bottom Records this week. Big play for Antioch, 4th down as we're back to live action. Here's Pate to throw. Pate with pressure. Pate throws, one up in the air, so it's going to be picked off by Deer Valley. Picked off by, guess who, Steve? Our buddy, the mystery man, number 29, who could be DeMario Ballard, who could be Deion Sanders, and it could be your nephew for all we know.
Okay, here it is. And right here, Joey Pate kind of forces one right here. He gets some pressure from the outside, and he's got to step up in the pocket. There's more pressure there, and the pheasant is wounded halfway down, and there's the interception. And he almost goes down to a knee, but it's as good as a punt.
Is it pheasant season yet?
It will be in November.
Oh, okay. I'm not into hunting, Steve.
You're not allowed to take your pheasant out by Brent.
I don't.
By the boathouse.
I don't shoot anything.
We'll shoot them, wring their neck, eat them.
No, not me. Handoff on 1st down, straight up the gut. Looks like Hicks. It was. Hicks out to the 15, a gain of 5. So, Steve, here's the situation. After that, what was like a punt, you said, really got the job done. They had to start at the 10. Deer Valley needs to go 85 yards. It's 2nd and 5, and they have 7 minutes to do it. You think they can?
Sure, Dan. This is America. Anything's possible.
Okay.
What do you keep looking at your clock for?
I just like to see the way the game's progressing. You know,
you want to see Bonds hit number 3 tonight. When you get home.
73. I can't believe the Dodgers threw the ball near the plate, to tell you the truth.
Well,
especially in a game where they were ahead 6. Maybe they thought we're 6-1 here.
Well, let me tell you something about the Dodgers. They're stupid.
All you LA people, send your letters to Steve Sanchez. But I agree. Here's a misdirection inside handoff to Hicks. And Steve, you know, this game is really it's like there's a big play and then there's a bad play. And then there's a big play and there's a bad play. And just going back and forth.
But you know, one thing you got to take your helmets off to, Dan, is that these guys have really been hitting on both sides of the ball. Deer Valley has been hitting. Antioch's been hitting. And it's been very high intensity, like Coach Ferris Anthony said, and it's carried over into the second half.
You know one thing, though, Steve? You've got a young quarterback, and they had a battle. You've got a running back who hasn't been here very long. And if you notice, Deer Valley's only ran about 10 plays tonight. They ran a lot of the plays over and over again. I think that might be their downfall. Here's Drummond to throw on 3rd down. He throws out in the flat. And what is going to happen? Oh, they call that a catch, and it's just inside the first down marker. It's outside. It's going to be a first down at the 21. That was Marcus Roberts.
Yes, real nice catch by Marcus. They're going to move the chains. And right here's Michael in the pocket, feels a little bit of heat, and throws it out. Not that great of a pass, but a nice catch. He got his hands underneath. Good catch by Marcus Roberts. There's Jimmy McGanna congratulating him.
Mark Redmond, the coverage for Antioch. The band out in front of us playing. Both bands here tonight. A huge crowd at Antioch High School. And here's a handoff on 1st down, and that's Hicks straight up the middle. And Redmond makes the tackle. So, Steve,
there's a good shot of the crowd, Dan.
5:44 to go, and Deer Valley still needs to go the length of the football field, almost 80 yards to score, and they haven't been able to do it tonight.
And you know, Dan, they really haven't, but they still have time to do it right now. This is the drive of the game for them, because if they don't get nothing on this one, Antioch's going to get the ball back, and even if it's a 3 and out, by the time Deer Valley gets the ball back, they're probably going to have 2 minutes or so, or maybe 3. So right here, they're going to have to go the length of the field and score and get some overtime.
Gain of 2, and now they're confused, which could lead to a delay if they don't get the snap count off. But Drummond goes quickly, pitches to Hicks. He has Ugardi out in front leading, and Hicks gets about 4. The ball's on the ground. The ball's on the ground. Antioch has it. Antioch recovers. And it's going to be a first down for Antioch, and there's another big turnover, Steve, and that could just about wrap this up for the Panthers.
Well, Dan, here's a replay right here. Let's watch and see who strips it. It's Hicks, and he's got stuff in the works right here. Ugardi does a real good block right here, and somebody turns in. And right here, they're talking it over. Let's see if the ball comes out. It's stripped by Richie Beltram. Number 33 strips it from the side. He tries to get it. And right here, the tackle of the day is by the referee right here. Watch his tackle by the ref.
Come on, ref.
Yeah, get out of my way.
That was actually Coker who came over and tackled the Panther out of bounds. The ball at the 22-yard line. Antioch would like to put this one away with 5 minutes to go. Pate hands off to Dixon, and Dixon goes absolutely nowhere.
Clock moving with 4:49 to go, Dan. Big series right here.
Tolanata. Oh, what they're going to show us, Steve? No, what are we? We're going to show. Oh, we're going to show the Mayor's Cup. We're going to show the Mayor's Cup right here. Oh, look at that. What?
Isn't that beautiful?
I'll tell you what.
Deer Valley and Antioch.
Well, they're going to have to take that down to the field soon. That's the cup. And Steve, can you tell me which team? Is that the Antioch helmet there on the left?
Yes, it is, sir.
One with the A on it. That was Tolanata there on the tackle.
You do not have to make me look like a fool. I will do it myself. I do not need help.
I haven't even done it tonight.
No, you really haven't. You've been really nice.
And that time, and there it is again.
Where?
That's the Antioch helmet.
Uh-huh.
And then maybe.
Hey, look at that guy's got one on too. There's Coach Bob Fisher and Coach Butterfield. And Butterfield, I bet he can't hit a softball, can he?
Oh, well, let me tell you a few. You know what the thing I want to know about Butterfield?
What's that?
When was he a quarterback? He looks like a tackle. Yeah. Him and Newberry look like they could play line for the 49ers.
Yeah, Mark is a big man.
What? I mean, when did he grow
I call him
much?
Mr. Butterfield.
Yeah, I do too. And yeah, he can hit a softball from here to the tennis courts. So can his brother. Here's Redmond, and now, and there's a fumble! A fumble! And I think Deer Valley got it back, Steve.
I think they have.
They did! And you know what? That was just an exchange, Steve. They basically got it about the same place, and now they got it back, and they got 4:22.
And you know, Dan, and right here, I think Antioch's getting a little conservative right here, you know. They're running the ball. They feel we're just going to eat the clock out. Maybe it could have been a time to throw the ball up the field right here. They're trying to eat the clock out. It came back to bite him a little bit right there. Deer Valley's got a second chance, Dan.
Are they going to show us? I got to wait a minute. Yeah, there we are. It's Dan and Steve. Yeah, but
Whatever.
it's all right. I'm Dan, he's Steve.
Here we go,
Back
Dan.
to live action.
Big play right here.
Deer Valley has 4:22 to go, and there's a penalty. So now this was a real good game, Steve, and it was going real nice, and there weren't a lot of mistakes, and now we've had a couple of fumbles, and now we have a penalty.
Yeah. Got a hold on Deer Valley. That's going to push them back, and that's going to hurt them right now, Dan. That was the last thing they needed. Getting back to the running game with Hicks, he looks like he's just like a tackle or 2 steps away of breaking a long one.
Offense, penalties 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Repeat, first down.
That's the only guy who could shut me up quicker than my wife.
Dave Kataya. I want to give credit to everyone out here tonight. It's been a fantastic effort on the part of both teams, the Antioch Panthers and the Deer Valley Wolverines. This has become, it used to be everyone looked at that schedule when it came out and it was Pittsburgh.
Right.
Still a big game, but now this is really a big game for both teams. Their bands are out here, the administrators. It's just been a great game, and it's a real close game and a good game to call here. Here's Drummond. Now, Steve, this is a deep drop. He throws to Garrison in the flat. Garrison breaking tackles. Garrison still on his feet. And Garrison makes a nice run and finally gets out of bounds, and that could have been a late hit.
That could have been a late hit. They got very lucky right there. Number 54 came in for Antioch late right there. And let's watch it right here.
Yeah, that was Lopez, Steve.
Lopez, come here. Right here, real big drop by Drummond here. And it's set up, and Antioch had the chance to snuff it right here a couple times.
Dixon misses.
But Garrison...
Lopez misses.
Lopez misses, but Garrison makes a real good spin move right there, and he shows pure determination and moves. No, he doesn't move the chains.
Hilton and Lopez made the tackle. Now here's a pass to Magana, and Magana is going to be spotted. He's still on his feet, and a first down for Deer Valley out to the 35-yard line with 3:08 to go, Steve. So even though we don't have a 34-34 game, we don't have a 28-24 game, but we've got a good game, and after the last 3 we've shown, we wanted to get a competitive game on tonight on AT&T Broadband.
And Dan, it's there's only been 1 touchdown, but there's been some great defense played, some great tackles, some good hits, and the intensity's been there. It's been a good game.
Let's see what happens now. First down, the ball at the 36. Drummond, 3-step drop. Oh, they do the hitch and go. He's got a receiver, and he overthrows number 84, Terrell. Oh, Terrell, 1 more step, and he would have been gone. Coverage from Hilton.
And Dan, what was so sad about that? Michael Drummond played that to a T. He really, Antioch bit on the fake, and he had the guy wide open, and he just overthrew him. And that's going to come with experience and maturity at the quarterback position. Next year, he'll be connected on them passes right there.
You can see Michael's stats tonight, 8 of 21 for 90 yards. Yes, Steve, as we mentioned, there was a big battle for that job. As I went out there in late August, and they still hadn't made up their mind who the starting quarterback was going to be at Deer Valley this year. And head coach Mike Paul went with Drummond, and he's got 2 wins out of Drummond. But this will be a big win for whoever wins tonight's game. Second down, handoff Hicks. Oh, a great defensive play that time from Jesse Williams. Jesse Williams. You see him go dive after the ball?
Yeah, he did. Jesse, he could smell it.
That looked like if Tim Manley dumped some ribs on the lawn for you.
I don't care if they drop it to the lawn. I'll still dive for them.
Those are some good ribs. Whew. And they're not. You can't go to Tim Manley's restaurant and eat them. They're right out of the Tim Manley kitchen.
Well, he kept telling me. I seen him yesterday. He goes, "You and Wall, I'm going to take care of you. I got the ribs." And then I'm thinking he didn't show up.
I got to tell you something. For those of you that know, Tim Manley's like the security chief here at Antioch High School.
And I'll tell you what, Dan, he does a great job at this high school.
I went to school with him. He's one of the rare people that I'm always happy to see Tim Manley.
You know what?
It always makes me happy.
Same thing.
Drummond to throw. Oh, a great defensive play. Tyner was over there, and also number 21, Johnson. Steve, what do you do here? It's 4th and long. Do you go for it with 2 minutes to go, or do you kick with 3 timeouts and try to force Antioch deep?
Well, Dan, I think it's 4th and 10. I think I'd have to roll the dice and go for it with 2 minutes. Antioch could just eat the clock up. Drummond, he's been doing a decent job at throwing the ball. He seems like he's been how come it's been going up and down?
I don't know.
Okay, but anyway, they're going to go for it, Dan. 2 minutes isn't enough.
Got the Chana defense at Antioch High School, Steve. There's a very, very good crowd here tonight. Antioch and Deer Valley have represented themselves well. And here's the Chana defense.
Play of the game, Dan.
This is it. 2:04 to go. Last hope for Deer Valley. Here's the throw, and it's intercepted by Tyner. Tyner at the 45. Tyner inside the 30. Tyner still on his feet. Tackled at the 20-yard line by James Francis, and that could wrap it up for the Antioch Panthers, and they could win their 4th game in this series and their 2nd game of this season.
And Dan, let's watch the replay right here. And right here, it's a do-or-die situation, and a big 8-step drop for Michael Drummond. He throws it over the middle, and he just overthrows his man, and Tyler just bobbles it a little bit, and right here he's off to the races. He's got a escort in front of him, and he's running down the sidelines, and you said about right, Dan. That's a big nail in the coffin right there.
I think he stepped out of bounds, Steve. They're spotting this at the 25-yard line. He was a lot deeper downfield when he was eventually tackled. Antioch takes over, 1:52 to go. Deer Valley has all their timeouts, and Pate says, if you're going to give me a hole that big, I'm just going to run right through it. Deer Valley, I believe, will call a timeout, Steve, with 1:42 to go.
He picked up about 8 yards on that, Dan, 7 yards.
Steve, we mentioned earlier, and we'll mention again, that Antioch next week hosts Freedom right here at Eels Field. It's homecoming for the Antioch Panthers, and Deer Valley plays Ignacio Valley at Deer Valley next week. Last year, Ignacio Valley beat Deer Valley. As a matter of fact, I used to have those scores, and I messed up and didn't bring them. But we did that. It was 42-26.
Very good,
yes. Yes, that was the score of that game. Antioch, of course, beat Freedom last year. Freedom only won one game last year, but they came out of the blocks 3-1 until they lost to Deer Valley.
Right. And Freedom's on the up and up, and Liberty's, Liberty's doing pretty good, and they upset Antioch last week. Antioch almost pulled it off with a last-second touchdown pass that was dropped, and I'll let you take it from here, Dan.
Well, there was no timeout, so the coaching staff for Antioch was screaming to start the clock because they wanted to run. So Deer Valley did not take a timeout. It's 2nd and 3. A first down will just about nail this one down for Antioch, but they made a good defensive play, and now Deer Valley's not calling timeout again. What are they doing, Steve? Why wouldn't you call timeout right here?
I don't know. That was Romel Washington on the tackle, number 44, Dan. He stopped it, and now they called timeout after about 15, 20 seconds.
Why wouldn't you call right after? Anyway, here's CC Rock coming up after tonight's game, Steve, and that's Eric Bloom from Blue Oyster Cult. And Matt is calling tonight's show the Blue Oyster Cult Witch Project. For whatever reason, I don't know. I don't understand all the things Metal Matt does sometimes, but that's one of them.
You know, whatever happened to the Partridge family, Dan? You know, I mean,
the Monkeys.
The Monkeys, Partridge family.
The Cowsills.
The Cowsills, you know.
Megadeth.
The Osmonds. Come on. The big heavy bands.
We've got a graphic coming down here. Look at this shot we have down here low. I think we got a guy with a split jersey on. Can we get a look at this, Ron? Carlin has a guy down on the track. There's this. His son gets more airtime than we do.
He really does.
I think he cut the hair, but he didn't do anything to the color. There it is. That's the split jersey.
And that's Mayor Don Freitas.
That's why he's wearing it. That is Don Freitas.
And that's Jim Davis, Councilman Jim Davis with him.
There's Don
Hello,
Freitas.
Donald.
He's wearing the split Antioch Deer Valley jersey. Who sewed that thing together for him?
I think Mary Rocher wore that one year, and I think it's a little bit tighter on Donald.
I'm glad you said it. 1 minute, 4 seconds to play in the ball game. Antioch with an early touchdown, and it's held up, lead 7-0. And Beltram runs into a wall, and then he says, I want to go run over about 7 guys.
And picks up a first down.
And that should just about do it here tonight. The Antioch Panthers look like they're going to go on and win this game 7-0, Steve. And it's just been, not a lot of mistakes, but just a good, hard-fought battle out on the football field, and just these teams were not able to get in the end zone except for one time.
Well, Dan, this game was played in between the 30-yard lines today. Not a lot of red zone opportunities for both teams. A lot of good hitting, a lot of good defense. You can tell they got 2 young quarterbacks. Joey Pate, he's a senior now. He probably had his feet under him a little bit better than Michael Drummond, but this is a learning experience for Michael. He played a pretty good game, and looks like Antioch is going to escape with one here.
They hand off to McGee, and McGee gets ahead for about 3. The tackle that time from number 35, Joe Selesky. But Steve, 20 seconds, the clock running. That should be the last play of the ball game. And it looks like the Antioch Panthers are going to escape here with one. A 7-0 victory on AT&T Broadband's High School Game of the Week. Antioch wins the 4th game of this series. There's been 5 played. They're now 4-1. They go to 2-2-1 on the season. Deer Valley drops to 2-3 as the clock hits 0. And the Antioch Panthers have won tonight's intercity battle 7-0 over Deer Valley. And we'll be back in 2 minutes to wrap this one up on AT&T Broadband.
Tonight's AT&T Broadband Game of the Week is made possible in part by a generous donation from Rocco's Ristorante Pizzeria in Walnut Creek. Located in the Encina Grande Shopping Center, Rocco's Ristorante Pizzeria has classic Italian pastas and gourmet pizzas in a family atmosphere. Locally owned and operated by Rocco Bialy and family, Rocco's was voted the best pizza by readers of the Contra Costa Times. A great place to go to watch the AT&T Broadband Game of the Week. And Brendan Theaters Concord, featuring 14 screens of movie magic. All theaters have Lucasfilm THX digital sound systems, stadium-style seating with high-back, comfortable love-seat chairs, and an unobstructed view. Reserve your tickets over the phone, and remember, movies always make a great gift. You can even find your favorite movie soundtrack in the lobby of the theater. And Paramount Technology of Concord. Located behind Tower Records in Concord, Paramount Technology has it all. Mobile computer service calls, in-house repair, and a friendly atmosphere. Your computer wizards with expert service and products for today and tomorrow's computer world. Thanks again to Rocco's Ristorante and Pizzeria of Walnut Creek, Brendan Theaters of Concord and Pittsburgh, and Paramount Technology of Concord for being part of our community and making tonight's production possible.
Frankie, what are you doing underneath your car?
What do you think I'm doing? I'm changing my oil and filter.
Come on, let's go. The girls won't wait forever.
As soon as I clean this mess up, we can go.
Toss that oil and filter in the garbage. We gotta go.
Are you crazy? I'm not stupid. If I dump this oil and filter in that garbage can, it will end up polluting the nearby landfill and later the bay.
Toss it in the garbage over there, or in the storm drain.
Boy, Chaz, you just don't get it. Whatever goes down the storm drains goes directly to the river, delta, and the bay, and most importantly, to your precious surf beaches.
You're kidding me, right?
No, I'm not. Do the right thing. Take care of your used motor oil and filter and recycle it.
We're going to send it down to Joey Acuna.
Thanks, Dan. We're here with the winners, the Antioch Panthers. But here to make the Mayor's Cup presentation is our mayor, Don Freitas.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, for the fourth out of the last 5 times, Antioch High School wins again. Yeah, and I like to give the trophy to Ferris Anthony for a job well done. Thank you very much. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Actually, you guys, the trophy's yours, not mine. It's your trophy. You guys earned it. You guys deserved it. You get it. You played a great game. Hey, defense, you did it, baby. You shut them out. Oh. Well, I love you. That's it. Listen.
You're making all Antioch proud. Yeah!
That guy used to be a professional wrestler. I kind of wanted to hear Joey say back upstairs to you, Dan and Steve.
No, he says it like this. Back up to you, Dan and Steve.
Well, back up to us, Dan and Steve. Antioch wins tonight on AT&T Broadband 7-0. Let's take a look at the final stats as Antioch celebrates on the field here on their home field. And look how even this game was, Steve.
Unbelievable.
Antioch had 3 more yards rushing. Deer Valley had 1 more yard passing. Antioch had 2 more yards of total offense. Deer Valley actually had 14 more 14 to 10 in first downs. There's the big stat.
The turnovers.
3 turnovers, and I still go back. The play of the game, Steve, was the punt, the fake punt, and then this touchdown that we have for you here one more time. This is D'Lo Hilton for the Antioch Panthers. As soon as we can get it up, and me and Steve will just kind of talk until you see it. But D'Lo Hilton gets a 16-yard touchdown catch, the only touchdown of the game from Joey Pate. And here it is, Steve.
And right there, Dan, watch this throw. And more importantly, watch the catch. Holy Toledo. Right there in the corner, one hand. He doesn't even use the other hand. Watch his catch, Dan. That's just amazing. He must have a lot of stickum on his hand, but a great catch, and that's the only score of the game, and that's the difference in the game.
That was 7-0. Antioch beats Deer Valley. Antioch now 2-2-1. Antioch now 2-2-1 on the season, Steve, and next week they play Freedom. Deer Valley falls to 2-3, and next week they play Ignacio Valley. And we're going to have some stats for you in just a minute, but let's take a look at the great friends of AT&T Broadband's High School Game of the Week, and of course one is Paramount Technology. Ristorante and Pizzeria, that's Rocco's in Walnut Creek. Contra Costa Clean Water Program, and Don Freitas has something to do with the water program.
Yes, he does.
And, of course, Brendan Theaters. And then our other great sponsor, Steve, Rock Bottom Records, New Mecca Cafe, Image is a 3 hair salon, S&S Import Service, Golf and Games, Concord Beverage. Hold on just one second. Pantel's Music Box, A&B Creative Trophies, Mercado's Hairstyles for Men, and Action Video. I'm waiting for the individual stats as you'll take another look at the final score and the crowd leaving tonight, Steve. And this was a great competitive high school football game. Let's get your final thoughts on the game before we take a look at the final stats.
Well, Dan, I think that it was a game that was fought in between the 30-yard lines the whole night. Really nobody got in the red zone except for Antioch that one time. They capitalized on it. They scored the touchdown. When the big play of that was the fake punt that set them up to go in for the score. Deer Valley ran the ball very well. Hicks had a good game running the ball. And they moved the chains in between the 30s, but they never really got down in the red zone and have a chance to score. They kind of stubbed their toes a couple times, Dan, when they got down there. They had some time-consuming clock eating up drives that took time to develop and took away from their offense. I think Michael Drummond played a decent game. He didn't play the best game, but he threw some decent balls, and it's a learning experience for him.
Well, Drummond threw for 70 yards, Steve, and we mentioned that, 69 for Pay. Hicks, the big star of the game on offense for Deer Valley, 134 yards rushing. But for Antioch, Beltram, I thought, had a great game, even though he only rushed for 30 and McGee rushed for 30. But Antioch really won this game on offense by committee. They used the whole roster, it seemed like, and then a very unlikely source, a receiver that's a second-string guy, Hilton, makes the touchdown catch. You know, Steve, there was only one attempt into the end zone in this game, and that was it, and it was a touchdown.
Yeah, it really was, Dan, and you're right that it was a win by committee. They really mixed it up, and they used a lot of people, and they mixed it up. And Antioch, their offensive coordinator, Bob Fisher, really mixed it up well and went to some different kind of stuff. And you got to take your hats off to Jim Baccio, Mark Butterfield, Anthony Borelli, Greg Davis, Chris Henry, Al Anthony. They all did a good job. They prepared these kids, and they did good.
Next week, we anticipate being at Pittsburgh for De La Salle Pittsburgh, but a decision might be made that we're going to switch that game. We'll let you know. Acalanes at Los Lomas. Antioch, once again, at DVC. That should be a good game.
That's going to be a good game.
Clayton at Antioch, Miramani at Los Lomas, and then, of course, the big little game, November 10th, Antioch at Pittsburgh over at Pittsburgh High School. As we wrap up another one here tonight at Antioch High School. The final score tonight, as we mentioned, Antioch 7, Deer Valley nothing. And we'd like to talk to you about some of the great people that helped us here tonight, Steve, but from what I understand, we don't have that list, so we're just going to have to go home.
Well, we can do that.
All right, so what we got going for you folks is next week at Pittsburgh, in 2 weeks at Los Lomas, and what a great game out here tonight from Antioch High School. For Steve Sanchez, Ron Carter, Matt Bolander, this is Dan Wall. Reminding you once again of the final score, Antioch 7, Deer Valley nothing. This has been an AT&T Broadband High School sports production out of Pittsburgh and Walnut Creek.
Good night, everybody.
Tonight's AT&T Broadband Game of the Week is made possible in part by a generous donation from Rocco's Ristorante Pizzeria in Walnut Creek. Located in the Encina Grande Shopping Center, Rocco's